live. Mallory, welcome back.
Craig, welcome back to you. We're back,
We're doing
baby.
it again. We're
back.
doing it again.
We're
For all of those who were waiting, maybe patiently or impatiently, for our return, here we are to fill your Saturday evenings, midnight on the East Coast to midnight on the West Coast of America. People have been writing in and talking to us that we needed to respect Canada and Mexico and all of the Americas, which is very true. But specifically, yeah, I don't know what to say. That's all the space that we had for the map. We have so many new things that we're coming back with that we have been working so hard on with our producer, Chris, of course.
Hey, producer
Pippa.
Chris.
Hey, producer Chris. Pippa, our operator. Everybody, please call in. In fact, Chris, this might be a perfect time to put the number at the bottom of the screen.
There it is.
Call now. 712-345 on it. And you can talk to us about whatever you want. We would love to hear from you, and as well as our audience. That's what we're here to do, is to listen to each other. Mallory, we also have another new player on our team, our graphic effects coordinator or director or creator or whatever.
He's a bit of Swiss Army knife guy too.
He's a Swiss Army knife, and as well, he's going to be our very first musical performance this evening as Beanon, which we'll talk about later. But I have a long history with this band. And I'm just so excited to have him on. We have a lot of bells and whistles that he's added, and hopefully it's a more entertaining show. Mallory, what have you been up to this week? Outside of working on the show, which I've seen you every day.
What have I been doing other than this? The regular, like lots of therapy, feeding my crows. Making friends with other birds too. I'm in a different place. I'm still in Vancouver, but the internet at my other place was on the kaput. So this takes priority. So I don't know, not really being with people much except for y'all virtually, which has been really nice. How about you, Craig? What you been up to?
Really working on this show constantly and dialing it in. But I think I was hinting at your crow army. I'm just so fascinated.
My crow army.
Yeah, you've been posting pictures online and sending us pictures in the group chat of these crows that you have trained to come to your window. In fact, like when you're walking home.
Slow down on the training of it all. They deserve more respect than that.
Fair.
In a way, I think they're training me too.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're my best friends now. If anybody follows us on Instagram, and if you don't, you should do that. Yeah. You will have seen in the past week some of my interactions with birds, and if you follow me personally, then you might be up to speed on my developing relationships with the crows that visit me in my building,
and the seagulls, by the way.
Oh, wait, now seagulls, yeah.
Yeah.
I think the crows are telling the seagulls. I just think they're all communicating with each other and letting me know I'm a good guy, and we'll feed them. So yeah, it was really wild how it started. I mean, I feel like we all know that crows, or have heard tales of, humans befriending crows, and that they get really protective. I don't know if you've heard, but yeah, that they remember your face forever, and then they have ways of communicating to their other crows that, like, this is a trusted human. It's wild. So I had heard of this, but had never experienced it firsthand. And there was one day on my balcony, like at the beginning of this year, where I live quite close to the water, so there's lots of birds around, and there I can see a rooftop just across from my balcony where a lot of seagulls are, and then the crows sort of like hang out in the trees. And there's some bird fighting going on, especially when they all have babies. Then they're protective over their babies.
Like inner bird fighting? Or
yeah.
Species like fighting each other.
Bird species. So like the seagulls and the crows trying to protect their babies from each other,
Yeah.
even though I don't think that either of them would hurt, but I don't know. I
I don't
actually
know.
I
They're
don't know.
vicious, I
I
think.
actually don't know that.
Yeah.
But anyways, I noticed this sort of like infighting happen, and I'm like, seagulls are well, now I like them because I just befriended one the other day, but, um, when this first
For
started.
everybody at home, we were like on a meeting and they were in a hotel and behind them at their open window, just like a seagull was like, "What's up? What's up? You mind if I get a piece of bread or something?" And it was like a little crack of a window too.
Mhm,
So
yeah, just
I'm
like a
sorry, I didn't
tiny
mean to
little
interrupt.
space. No, no,
Yeah.
thank you for the context. Yeah, so I like seagulls now, I guess. But I think most people would agree, like, seagulls are way more annoying than crows. And so I saw
I
this,
agree.
like, fighting happening between the species, and I think I was already thinking, like, "How do I befriend these crows?" And I eat cashews and nuts regularly, so, one of these crows was, like, swooping around my deck, and I wanted to make it clear to this crow that I
Mhm.
was on its side, not the seagull's side. And so I saw this sort of like them fighting in the air, trying to protect their territory. And one time when this crow came by my deck, I put out some cashews on the table on my deck, and that was the beginning of a very beautiful relationship. Um, it is developed.
Have you named him?
Yes, it took me some time because I wanted to get to know this
Okay,
crow
how do I not
first.
know this yet?
I wanted to get to know the crow first. Also, don't tell the crows this, but they're kind of hard to tell apart. So I needed to
Yeah, you don't wanna tell the crows that.
don't tell the crows that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
really.
I wanted to take some time to make sure I was recognizing this crow and like it was the same crow. And yes, it is the same crow. And I named this crow Ivan. Um,
Ivan.
mhm.
That's
It
an
just
appropriate crow
It just
name.
really came to me, Ivan the Crow,
Yeah.
and it especially it's like, I don't wanna put genders on them, and at the time, I was, like, a little uncertain, and Ivan would be a cool name no matter how the crow identifies, but I've gotten to a point now I have, like, a whole narrative. So,
Oh, yeah.
Ivan started showing up more and more, and at the same time every day, so I made sure to put, uh, fruits and nuts on my deck at the same
Uh-huh.
time every day. I did a lot of research. I'm on Crow Reddit. Crow Reddit is delightful. I'm following people on TikTok who have relationships. Like, I'm really getting into the crow communities right now, and because I didn't want to feed them anything that was
I'm
bad for
amazed that there are so many. If you're involved in a crow community,
them.
please call
Please,
in right
please
now. If
call
you
it.
are a crow
Yeah.
and you can dial the phone,
I wouldn't put
really.
it past them.
God, can
I
you
really wouldn't
imagine
put
if
it
a
past
crow subscribed to our YouTube channel?
That's the ultimate goal now.
That's the goal.
That's the goal.
Okay, great.
Yeah,
So
okay.
anyway, I'm sorry.
No,
Crow
that's okay.
communities.
So, because I didn't wanna feed them anything that was bad for them,
Yeah.
and, also I learned that every crow is per I think okay, I feel like crows are kinda like the cats of birds. They're very good at training people. Every crow is particular, um,
Hmm.
and I learned that, Ivan loves cashews and cat treats.
Cat treats.
Yeah, and I got that suggestion from Crow Reddit, so they're safe for crows, and, they love them, I guess. So, I started feeding Ivan at the same day, and then one day, another crow started showing up with Ivan, and
Yeah.
at this point, Ivan was very comfortable, like, he would be on yeah, I guess I am
Wait, and
gendering him.
I don't mean to be crass, but I
No,
just
fine,
would like to know:
please.
are you certain that Ivanism is
I know like, how do birds have gender? I know this is I is this what we are gonna ask? Am I certain that Ivan's a boy
I
or
don't
man?
know. I don't know.
I don't know
It's like Ivan seems to be okay. Maybe this is what I'm asking.
Okay.
Does Ivan appear to you to be like uh pretty masculine, like tough? I don't know why I
Well,
did this with
I was
tough,
like, "Tough,"
like tough.
like like men are so tough. Um, it's so funny because oh gosh, I feel like this intersecting of, my own gender journey and, like, trying to
Mhm.
dismantle how I think about gender, but I'm finding myself, like, gendering these birds. It's
I
It's
think
a
it's
lot.
okay.
I
I
think
didn't mean to bring
no, no,
light
no, 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 no,
on the
no.
complexities of it,
No, no, I literally have been thinking about this a lot myself, and that's why, like, I wasn't gendering it first. It was like,
but
Ivan
you
was
don't know how to look at their genitals
I
and know
no, I
one way
don't
or the
know.
other.
I mean,
Okay,
I've read
okay.
and it is
Yeah.
hard to tell,
I
but
was
it
gonna
was
say,
once another one started showing up, and then after I read it, they do often during the day, go around in pairs, and then at night, that's when, like, the murders come together and they all, like I don't know what they
yeah.
do at night, but here they fly into the mountains and then come back into the city in the day. It's beautiful. So Ivan started showing up with another crow, um and how I actually got to identify Ivan is he always looks like a little disheveled, so I guess that's why I started saying he just, like, seems like a sorta like a l like, disheveled, a little, like, chaotic, like, I don't know, he's just always a little messy and like he just came out of, like, a fight or something,
Right.
um, and he got really comfortable with being on my balcony while I was out there too, so that was very cool, and then Ivan started bringing around another crow, and they seemed about the same size, and I was like, "Are they dating? Are they in love?" I think they're in love. Oh, yeah, because one time I saw them in a tree nuzzling up to into each other, so that's how that narrative started to develop. I was like, "Oh, they're in love," and now I've gotten to the place where I'm pretty sure, like, they're, like, husband and wifey, because after another, like, few months, I they started bringing around another crow that was definitely a baby. And the baby is chaotic and will not show up without either of them there. But I feel like I could tell that they were, like, teaching their baby, like, "Hey, you can find food here."
Oh, that's so
Really
cool.
beautiful, really beautiful. And so Ivan and Ivan's partner, who I have not named
You've
yet.
become like generational support.
Yeah, yes, yes, I am. I really am.
That's
That's
awesome.
nice. Yeah.
That's
I
awesome.
like
You have employed generations of crows.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's gotten to the point now where, uh, I have experienced them recognizing faces because 'cause I've heard that, and, when I'm been out in my neighborhood, I've had several instances of them recognizing me. Oh, yeah. Ugh. I now carry cashews in my pockets when I'm
If you carry cashews in your pockets, call now. Back to you, Mallory.
I
That's great cutting, Chris. Go
ugh,
ahead.
I don't have many friends in Vancouver. This is all I have. Um, yeah, so I started carrying cashews in my pockets because I thought I was seeing them out in the world, and I was like, "Oh, I want them." I wanted some indication to, Ivan and Ivan's family that it
Mhm.
was me. So, I've had several instances of, them recognizing me out in the world, and just, like, a couple of days ago, I was blocks away from my house,
Mhm.
and Ivan and his partner were there, and how I know it's Ivan now is that when he recognizes me, he does a very specific, like, swoop down and, like, circle and around me,
Oh my
and then
god.
he'll, like, perch on the closest, like, post or sign or whatever. Like, he's walked me home before, he's flew me home before. Like, if he sees me and sees me walking home, he'll do that. He'll, like, come with me, follow me home, and then he'll be waiting on my balcony when I get up there.
That's literally worth it. To have
It's
a crow follower. Now how now on a sincere level, and I think you're
yeah.
about to get it, how has that changed the feeling that you have when you're walking through the city?
I'm so glad you asked. It actually really has changed it because I used to when I would walk through the city, I had, like, lots of blinders on, like, earbuds in, music on loud, I'm not looking around and stuff. But
Right.
now, like, the crow's caw is so my ears are so attuned to it, and especially Ivan's specific one, and I wanna hear
Okay.
it, and so it's actually made going out in the world here nicer because I feel like I'm attuned to the crows and where they are, and I don't know, like, all the crows probably know Ivan. They all, like, hang out together, so I just wanna be open just in case Ivan's told another one about me, and I'm like, "I'm here." So if I see crows around, I would say, "Hello," like, literally, I will out loud say, "Hello, nice to meet you." And if it's in, like, a not too busy place, I will give them some cashews out of my pocket.
Yeah, so, I mean, it sounds like when you go out with the gang.
Yes, that is
Like
what it feels
like
like.
you're
That is
you're you're
absolutely what
going
it
out
feels
with the
like.
gang, and
I am
you can
fully in
hear
cahoots with
them.
the crows.
And, like, that's the coolest thing is that you can be sitting in a park and not see your friends, but you can hear them fucking around, and you're like, "Oh, that's incredible."
I've got I've
I'm
got
really happy you have that. That
I've
is
got
beautiful.
family here now. I mean, yeah, I've got like a
Yeah, I
few
understand.
close friends here, but yeah, no, I feel like it's truly expanded my like base here. It's made Vancouver feel a bit more like home, which is really nice.
That is awesome. That
Yeah.
is awesome. I
Have
I
you had any experiences with birds,
Oh, yeah.
crows?
Um,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, I've had a few experiences. No. Yeah, I had this blackbird that used to perch on my window. Or I mean, I don't know if blackbirds in America are the same as blackbirds in Europe. I think that they're different, but the these always took the highest perch in the city, right? So like they if you see them around, they'd always be like on the like the TV antenna coming off the top of the building, and this one always perched right above our fire escape on the fourth floor, and its song was just so incredible, and it came there to like sing every night as the sun went down. So I have a lot of videos with that bird.
Oh, that's so nice.
Yeah, yeah, a real
Hello, yes.
treat of a songbird.
I don't know much about blackbirds. Do you know
I'm
about
pretty sure it
how
was
they
a
make
blackbird.
songs? Okay.
Okay.
But the cool thing is that I think it
All
would
right.
be
Sounds good. Thanks.
the similarity out here would be like a
Thanks. All right.
mockingbird or something, or so
S
because
Buddy,
they
stop
the songs are never the same. It just keeps
it.
on going on, and like it feels totally random.
So
Nothing
do
is ever
they
repeated.
like pick up sounds from the city in the ways that like mockingbirds do? Like it depends on certain what
Oh,
sounds they're around because that's
I don't know. Maybe
a
Am I
lot
that's
of
the
gonna?
places
I,
are
case.
I
that.
probably should have
Yeah.
asked this
Yeah,
before. Am I gonna be able
yeah. Oh,
to hear
yeah.
them on the phone? I didn't want like
I've
weird
read a
feedback
lot of
stuff on
stories
their
about
end, so I
crows,
muted my.
um,
Okay,
like
cool. I
bringing
muted the TV
presents
just so
to people
so I
who
wouldn't
feed
hear them
them a
Mhm.
lot.
or wouldn't create that.
Have
Mhm.
you has
Okay,
your
cool.
crow
Thanks.
brought anything back for
Um,
you?
so this is one thing where I'm like, I'm not certain, but I am actually pretty certain because my apartment building, I'm on the 8th floor,
Mhm.
and I'd fed Ivan a few times and really had this in my head, but I had this in my head like I want Ivan to bring me something, but I decided to relieve myself of that because I'm not in this for the presents. But there was, yeah, one morning when I woke up and around the time that he comes, there was a worm right at my balcony door, and
Mhm.
like a very large like twig with a leaf on it, and there's no trees around me. Like there's no way that a worm
They
and a twig could get on my balcony. And so so I kind of took that as because I mean, like eating can be kind
you
of hard
gotta
for me
train.
sometimes. So I feel
Yes,
like this was
exactly.
Ivan
You
being like,
gotta
I'm
train
feeding
your
you too.
crows to go get you hot dogs.
Well, not hot dogs, but yeah,
Oh,
yeah. I don't like hot dogs,
I
but
it just feels like a hot dog would be appropriately shaped for a crow to pick
for a
up.
crow, yeah, yeah, fair. I mean, it
Yep.
is a little worm-like, just way bigger.
Yeah, big fat worm. Okay,
Yeah,
hey,
big
hey,
fat worm.
got a caller on the line,
Oh,
and that
awesome.
sounds exciting.
Great. I'd love to
Let's
talk to a
let's
caller.
jump right in. Caller,
Okay.
are you there?
Me?
Yeah, I think it
Hello.
is. Hi,
All right.
caller.
The way they patched me in, I was not certain like if this was like the whole recording or what was happening
This is
exactly.
not the hold recording, but wouldn't it be silly if our
Rest of
hold recording went on this long, kind of conversing with you? Either way, let's just play
You're
through
on
it and see
air.
what happens at the end.
What's your
Right on.
name?
Okay, well, Andrew, I've been. This is my first time like watching, obviously calling too.
Oh,
I have a
awesome.
friend that's in the background of your show, like not literally right now, but like I mean, anyway, he mentioned this and that it was about birds and such. Sorry.
Okay.
I
I'm just
don't
making sure there
do
wasn't
this sort of
anybody
thing
back
very
there.
often.
Hey, Andrew, it's all good.
Hmm.
Take a breath. We're all in this together. We're so happy you
Sorry.
called. No,
It's been a
don't
long.
apologize.
It's been a
It's been a
long week.
long day for everybody,
Uh,
long week for
today's
everybody. Yeah, take
uh,
your time.
today's my Friday technically, so yeah.
Happy
Anyway,
Friday.
I'm gonna try and ignore your images on the TV right now, and look the other
Oh
way.
yeah, that
So
that could be a little disorienting.
Yeah.
it is. It is. So you mentioned crows, and that's what prompted me to call in. I've got like
Awesome.
a history of. Okay, I don't know how to start here. I might be your most interesting person. I hope I don't like cause Beanon to take like delay them. But I've lived in the place that I am now in Oregon
Uh-huh.
for specifically about 9 years here, and at this point, I've made several. It started off with squirrels, and I would grab
Mhm.
nuts and like acorns from the park next door because they were like free, and they're just there, and I'd grab them, and eventually squirrels would come to me, and I don't know, I've read about this. I had a lot of free time, like after work and such on weekends, and they would start to eat the nuts eventually out of my hand, a couple of them, and one of them eventually bit me in this process. Sorry, we're going to get to the birds, but
I'm
I love hearing
captivated
about the
already.
squirrels too.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
one of them bit me, and I realized that acorns are the shape of them. It's not it's not conducive to like they could mistake my thumb for part of the acorn. In
You
other
know
words,
what?
and that
I
Fair.
never
happened.
thought about that, but really, acorns are the thumbs of nuts.
Hmm. Yes,
I
and
think that's fair. We can call that a rule.
Mm.
Proceed,
so we switched to
Andrew.
peanuts, Chris,
Yeah,
and
great.
we switched to peanuts, and
Uh-huh.
which I have like one end of the peanut to hold onto and the other end for them to grab. And eventually it became like a great relationship. A bluebird eventually started to see this and would grab peanuts every once in a while when I would toss them at squirrels that were too shy to grab them from my hand. And the bluebird kept doing this, and it would really piss me off. I'm sorry, I don't know if we can swear if this is like Howard Stern or not, but
Yeah,
We can fucking swear.
all right,
just basically consider
fantastic.
yourself on Howard
So,
Stern.
all right.
Well,
so so I would start to throw nuts at this particular bluebird or blue jay,
Uh-huh.
and eventually he would start to like come closer and closer and just hang out before the squirrels would even show up. Like he would see me, like, hey, oh my god, look at you, and sit on this fence that I would sit at, and I'm like, all right, let's see how far we can go here. So I would hold him in my hand really close to the ground, and he would hop over and grab him out of my hand that way, and eventually he held my hand up, and eventually he'd land in my hand, and that's where it all. It was a really quick thing until I discovered you can unshell the nuts. I'm gonna listen to this
That's
tomorrow
incredible.
probably and think
Wait, so
oh my
can
god,
you please?
I've had a couple of beers. I
Oh,
give
Andrew,
myself
it's
that.
quite all
hey,
right, and
Andrew,
please, yeah, yeah, yeah. This is
this
a
has been a
lovely story.
really great call. You're
Yeah.
doing. I'm so interested to learn more.
So
So
Frankie, now it's been a little over 2 years, and every single day, like it's all day routine. Like morning, I know
No
when
so
he's
you
way.
going to
named
show up.
the
I
bluebird Frankie?
Frankie, like, well, start off Frank Rizzo because I thought it was a guy, and I realized from researching them, like her demeanor and everything, it's obviously a woman. And did
Okay.
you say woman? That sounds weird. Woman,
I know it does, right? To call a bird a
female,
woman or a
female.
man. Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Huh.
so right. So, um, Frankie, for short. There was a. I grew up in Kansas. This is how I know Brody, and there was a beautiful DJ back there called Frankie when I was growing up, and lovely voice. That's where I was able to transition to Frankie.
Uh-huh.
Like, all right, it's fine. It can
Cool.
be a woman. It's Frankie.
Yeah.
so,
I love that.
So,
so there we go. And then while
when
all
you
this is
say
happening, all of the.
bluebird, I just real
I'm
quick,
sorry. Go ahead.
when you say bluebird, I'm picturing like a like Snow White bluebird, like a little round blue, like bright blue
Oh
ball,
no,
or is it?
no.
Oh, okay.
No, I feel so terrible about this. It's like a scrub jay, technically, and they're like little murderers. And I know what
Ooh.
she's doing when I'm not around feeding her peanuts. She's like raiding nests. There's robins that absolutely chase her around and hate her because I'm sure she's eaten their babies. And I hate that I'm
Oh,
contributing to this, but at the same time, it's like you've got to.
Well,
whoa.
that's not
Oh, you know
on
what?
you.
I'm going to say it. you've got a fucking bird landing in your hand. You're not going to say no to that
Of
just
course
because
you're
you're
gonna
like,
feed it. Of
of
course.
course, right?
Of
Man.
course. You're not
And
a part of their like you know
it makes me feel like Cinderella
ecosystem.
every single day.
Oh,
Wait,
I
not
know.
Cinderella, Snow White, much more accurate.
Oh,
But
Snow White is more accurate, but I get it. You
yeah,
feel like a
yeah,
princess, and
yeah.
that's nice.
That's incredible.
mhm.
So has it have you noticed that
I know exactly what you're going to
the
ask. It's transitioned into crows. Yes, that's why I called in the first place. Now there's a murder of crows that follow me around when I'm walking.
Oh, I've met my people. That's so wonderful. How many? How many do you have?
crows?
How do I get more?
At largest count that I've seen at one point has been probably between 12. It's hard to count because I'll like walk and just toss nuts behind me, and I know they're following me,
Mm.
and sometimes they'll like run, or I said run, like fly right in front of me and land like right in front of me on the sidewalk, and like, hey buddy, and I'm like, here you go, and like, and if I go outside without like a pocket full of peanuts, then I'm like, I feel horrible. I have to run back in
I
sometimes.
know. Me too, Andrew. Me too.
All right.
And people have keep
Crazy.
laughing at me that
Incredible.
I like have cashews in my pockets always, but you got to be prepared if you want to make friends with the birds.
Yep. Are your
That's
pockets full of like
crazy.
you're constantly having to empty out like peanut dust and residue
Yeah,
from the
actually,
shells?
it's so funny. I woke up in this new place this morning and there's cashews all over the floor because I just like they're in all of my pockets. So whenever I like take my like pants or shorts off, cashews are it's falling. It's like now in my washing machine when I do laundry. Yeah. But I've accepted this problem. It's worth it. It's worth
Okay,
it.
for everybody at home
Really is.
that's as dumb as I am, are we doing raw cashews? Are we doing salted
Yeah, no,
cashews?
no, you
Okay.
can't. You're
No
supposed
salt.
to no
Okay.
salt, roasted, salted, not good
Glad
for
I
birds.
asked.
Yeah, no,
Glad I
actually,
asked.
really good that you asked. Yeah, um, and I've heard like some crows prefer peanuts. I get mine just prefer cashews. I don't know why,
I do
but
peanuts,
Because you had
and
cashews.
I honestly I did the raw for quite a while, but this might be terrible. But I did look into this. If they're roasted but unsalted still, I
oh,
think
okay.
it's like a treat.
So it's like a treat. Oh, great. Thank you for that
They
information.
just
That's good.
devour them, and they're much cheaper from the grocery store to get it that way. You can get like,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the
Yep.
same amount that you would get raw, like twice the amount for
But
half the price.
roasted, yeah,
It's
it
good.
is cheaper to get roasted than raw.
Mm-hmm.
You should try cat treats. Mine love cat treats, and again, they are safe for them. And what I'll do is, like, I'll give them a few cat treats because they eat those right away, and then they store the cashews in their mouths and then fly them over, and I imagine they're bringing them to their kids or whatever. So I'm like, "Here's some treats just for you to eat, and here's some cashews for your family." Try
Yeah,
cat
but
treat.
okay, what about with like the extra nutrients and the things they're putting in the cat treats? Like,
I mean,
like,
I've done
are you
as
creating a new super breed of some
oh,
animal that
maybe.
doesn't exist?
Maybe. I mean, I am trusting the, like, Reddit crow community. That's where I got the idea was, like, the Tasties cat whatever cat treats that everybody knows, that apparently they are safe and fine, and I haven't heard that they have made mutants out of crows, but we'll see.
We'll see.
Andrew,
God.
thank you so much for
Andrew,
calling in.
yeah, what a great call.
Really
Absolutely
beautiful
fantastic
call.
call. Yeah,
Yeah,
and
thanks so
please
much for having me.
and stick around. Obviously, yes, Brody Beanon will be playing later on in the show. We're so excited for that. Andrew, please call back again. And Chris,
Mhm.
if you could go ahead and throw us into a little bit of a commercial break.
Oh, we good. Um,
Okay.
Andrew, it's so great talking to you, and we hope that you keep watching and listening. This is delightful.
And
Wow.
we're vamping.
Wow. That
I
was
hear
well, I mean, I've found my people, and I think maybe are ready for a commercial now.
commercial. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
go ahead,
Go
Craig.
ahead.
Oh, I will do it. Hey, producer Chris, let's see that commercial.
The power and beauty of flight can now be yours with Les Bird. Les Bird, the incredible flying machine, is made of durable space-age polymers with super strong mylar wings designed for years of dependable use. And it's easy to use. Simply wind the crank, hold the bird in the palm of your hand, and release the switch. LeBird does the rest. Flying just like a real bird up to 200 feet. Take it to the park, on picnics, to the beach, even in your own backyard. Millions have been sold throughout the world. And now, through this special TV offer, you'll receive 2 LeBirds for just $19.95, a $30 value for just $19.95. So order today and bring the power and beauty of flight to you and your family with LeBird.
No CODs can be accepted for LeBird, so use your credit card and call toll-free 1-800-342-3000. 1-800-342-3000.
Who looks exactly the way that I look? Me. And I am reading who's holding the book. Me, wonderful me.
Sesame Street's Big Bird Story Magic with storybook and cassette.
Attack! They rose above the jungle. New battle birds.
Battle birds!
Airplanes become battling birds of prey. Heroic Sky Pice clenches his claws. Night Slayer shows his dark side. Battle birds! But Pterodactyl is tearing up the sky. Part plane, part battle bird. Attack Pack Battle Birds! Attack Pack Battle Bird vehicles, each sold separately only from Hot Wheels.
Hello. Thank you for taking this call. Fire on it. This is Samuel from Seattle, and anyone who's hearing this, I extend my love to, and I look forward to talking amongst ourselves on Fire on It Live Saturday nights. Good night.
That was a really lovely voicemail from our friend Sam. Thanks for that. That was so nice.
Makes me feel so happy to get a voicemail. You know how rare it is to get a voicemail nowadays? I mean, from some people, I get voice notes. Why are
Right.
voice notes less hard to get to than a voicemail?
Well, because you got to call someone to leave a voicemail, and I don't like calling people.
I'm that guy. I'm that guy that calls. all
You
the
are
time.
actually,
I
you
call.
have forced
People
me to
text
kind
me,
of
and then I
be
call.
open to it. I know. You've, really forced me into being cool with accepting calls.
I got too much to say for a text.
Fair. I mean, that's why I do voice notes and voice messages, but a call is arguably easier.
Fair.
Yeah.
And sometimes when you open up a voice note and you're like, okay, and then you're like, oh wait, I didn't realize what I was getting into. This is 8 minutes long.
It can be a lot. Yeah. Well, it's like it's like a individual podcast sometimes. I think that we
Okay.
have another caller.
Yeah. Let's go to
Let's go to
let's
another
go to Sneaky.
caller.
Yep. Caller.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello. Is this Snicky?
Snicky?
This is Sneaky calling.
Hi.
Lovely.
Long time listener, first time on the line with 5 on it from
So
Eastern
happy to hear
Canada.
from you, Snicky.
Oh, we're so happy to have you here, Snicky. What do you want to talk about?
It's great to be listening so far to Mallory's crow adventures. My goodness.
Thank you.
I'm thrilled that you're getting to experience the magic of birds and everything that they can bring to your world. They're so phenomenal. They're nature's little magicians, and they're so comedic and formidable, and they just have so much personality, and people, I guess, we take them for granted, and I love that you're getting to this experience with your crow army.
Thank you so much, Sneaky. And I mean, it sounds like you have some personal relationships with birds. But I love, first of all, just like the respect that you're putting on birds, because I've been thinking a lot about all the like colloquialisms and idioms of like bird brained, or all that all of the ways that humans refer to birds as, and it's always like, oh, they're kind of dummies, and
oh yeah,
they're not.
and it deserves to be challenged, and
Yeah.
luckily it has been in a few ways, very, very significantly. It's like I encourage people to look up Dr. Irene Pepperberg, who's been so instrumental in shedding a lot of light into how much birds, their problem solving and their intelligence level, and some of their puzzle work is off the charts, in tune to possibly even primate levels, and it's just incredible. Her work with African gray parrots is just unbelievable. It's so worth looking up if you're interested in how smart birds can be. Yeah.
Have you experienced any of this stuff firsthand? Any of like the puzzles or
Oh,
building or anything?
yeah.
Wait, birds
Totally.
build?
I've
Oh
been
wait,
lucky
birds
enough.
build nests.
They build nests. Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
lucky enough to have shared my life with a few parrot species, and they're so cool. I raised a white-bellied kayik from the time he was a baby, and I had him for almost 15 years, and he was just a little
Wow.
delight. And his puzzle solving was pretty good. He could learn to. You would buy him a toy, like something that would unlock in sequence, and he would learn it in like a day, and then it was just there was no challenge to it anymore. He just had it figured out. And so if there were two locks on a box that you had to unlock to get the food out, he'd figure it right out. And so it was just, okay, two locks, that's nothing. Like, that's
Wow.
Were you
just
ever
mental
able to
task.
like train him to uh him to do chores for you, like go get the paper, but start the coffee? Those are the only things I can think of. Wait, do they even make papers?
I never trained him to do anything as useful as manual labor, but but he was real cool. Like, and he would learn. They have a sense of humor. He would learn to do stuff like, he would learn like what makes us laugh. Like he would drop if he dropped things. Genuinely, I would laugh. Generally, if he dropped something off the top of his cage, so he would run, grab a toy off the top of his cage and throw it, and then laugh at himself because he learned to laugh.
Oh my god.
He laughed at his own
I
jokes.
Yeah.
love
Oh
that.
my, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's really
Yeah,
good.
unbelievable. And I mean, he was as smart as a whip, and he is considered moderately intelligent for a parrot species, and he's laughing at his own jokes. I mean, come on.
He's pretty
These
smart.
African grays are like driving cars and doing taxes, you know what I mean?
Wow. And how much does it
crows,
cost?
crows
Because
are
I'm
right
trying to.
up there.
Yeah. They're
Yeah.
smart. Again, my crows are training me a bit. Did you ever find that sneaky? Like, did you find that your birds like trained you in some ways?
Oh, absolutely. I was really bad for giving him the kind of treats he wanted when he would ask for them specifically. Like,
It's so
he
hard
would just
not
be like,
to.
peanut butter. Yeah, and I'd be like, okay, I guess I got to give you some stuff. Like, you literally
Wait,
just
he would say
asked
peanut
me
butter out loud?
specifically.
Is that what?
He would say peanut butter. That was his favorite treat, is peanut butter. So he would he would say peanut butter, and I'd say peanut butter, and he'd go, yeah, peanut butter. So it was,
Wow.
you'd pretty much have to deliver.
Yeah, you can't not. How did you get into birds in the first place? 'Cause I feel like I don't know how one gets introduced to having one as a pet, you know, how you decide to have
I
one or live
know.
with
It
one.
was not.
I want to say you lived with one, not it wasn't a pet. You cohabitated with birds.
We were roommates.
You were roommates.
Yeah. I actually never considered a bird. Like, I think it was because I lived in the city and I really wanted a dog. And my partner at the time, his aunt, I think, had a lovebird, and his family suggested, why don't you get a bird? And I was like, well, I never really thought about it, but it sounds kind of cool. And I took my first trip out to a bird rescue, a local bird rescue,
Oh,
and I was
nice.
hooked. and I found a little lovebird there that didn't have a home, and I brought him home, and that was my first bird, was Buddy the lovebird. And let me tell you, those guys are fun.
Ooh, how are they different than parrots? How are they different?
Yeah, what's a lovebird?
Yeah.
They're a very small, very robust breed of parrot. They're
I
smaller
always
than the
knew I
parrot
was
that
a lovebird.
That's correct.
They're like they're like the size of a pickle, but they have so much personality that's
Pickle
packed
with
into this teeny
personality.
little-
I mean, that's all I
And
ever
wings to
want.
Yeah.
boot. Sounds like my
Yeah.
hero. But seriously, what do they look like?
Yeah.
What do they look like? I have to see. I have to
What do
see
they
a
look
bird.
like?
I have to
Lovebirds?
see a lovebird.
They come in all kinds of colors. Mine was green with a little red face. He was a peach-faced
Oh,
lovebird.
God.
Yeah. He
Why are
was
they called
adorable.
lovebirds?
that's a good question.
That is a good question. I don't know. That's probably not their original name, but they're from Africa, so they probably have like a local name or
Right.
a more specific name. But
Wikipedia says that they're known for their loving relationship and their bonds with their mates, that they
That's
bond and mate
true.
for life.
So did you have two,
It is recommended you.
Sneaky?
I didn't. It is recommended you keep them in twos, but I just
Ooh.
had one guy because I wanted him to be like bonded to me.
Let's be
Well, then
honest.
you were
he
the other
probably-
So
one.
apparently,
And he probably deserved it.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So we
So
were
no
we were
man.
buddies.
No, but then yeah, you're the other lovebird in that situation. Then.
Yeah,
I guess so.
You kind of become like the partner. Yeah.
Yeah, it's companionship. So man, I think I have to bond with a bird. Although, what would I do that a bird wants to do? I don't really hang out. I don't go out. Like what?
Have you ever thought of getting a bird, Craig?
No, I'll tell you, Snicky, that I don't have much experience with domesticated birds at all outside of that I worked on a lot of shows with magicians, and in particular, and I won't name names, but I worked a lot with a particular magician that was a bird magician, and it was so repulsive to me how he was just like shoving birds in his jacket, all night long, and
Oh my
popping them
God,
out,
yeah, stuffing them into boxes
and then all
yeah.
night long there was a giant parrot in his leather jacket that he would like make his finale, just like a giant parrot in his neck
Yeah.
all night long.
Humans are the worst.
It's a weird thing.
are
I
the
mean,
worst.
That's why I love that you got one, Nikki, you said you got it from a rescue, because I think we all, know how humans can exploit animals and like birds especially, because I don't love the idea of like fully domesticating them, but then some of them have been, and then, they're treated bad. So I'm glad that one of them got to spend its life with you, Nikki.
And I would
Oh,
actually like to
it's
ask,
true.
if it's not putting you on the spot, and I don't mean to sound judgmental, but did you ever feel like a little bit did you feel like you were taking away flight and the world as their oyster away from them in any way? Did you ever feel like they were longing for the
know.
sky?
Well, it's hard because you feel a little funny. Like, I bought a bird that was a first generation, or it would have come from first generation birds that would have been bought directly from Brazil. Like, it's funny when you think about, like, you're not supporting a trade directly like bird smuggling, but you bought the grandbabies of the smuggled birds, you know what I mean? So it's kind of like
Wow.
there's a bit of that.
Yeah.
You feel a little guilty, even if you're buying from a reputable breeder. You're buying the generational babies of who were smuggled away from home, which is, it's a weird thing to say. They're raised in once they're
Sure.
born, they're removed from their parents and hand raised by people. So they're not domesticated fully like a dog, or they never will be, but they have like an attachment to people that makes them
Right.
more comfortable as pets. And even to the point where, like, my lovebird, his cage was his place that he preferred, and because that's all they know. And it's like,
Right.
is that the right thing? It's a weird catch-22. You feel like you do feel a little guilty and a little weird sometimes. Yeah, you feel
Did you ever
strange
feel
a
like it
little
was
bit.
in them to like did you see them like longing for the sky, or did you ever see them outside? Was that ever something that you did with
Mm.
your bird?
I did. I would put them in travel
Oh,
cages
whoa.
and take them out on the deck.
Oh,
So they just
that's
get out in
nice.
the sun, and that's how they get some of their vitamin D. So it's actually
That's
recommended you
nice.
do take them outside and they get some sunlight. But it's like
Sure.
they were more stressed out by the sound of wild birds, thinking that they were going to be like
Right.
attacked or something.
Hmm.
They felt like it was
Right.
almost like or you could see them sort of reacting like, am I in a safe place? Because there's just more going on. It's like, sounds like traffic or something to
Wow,
them,
that makes
Yeah.
sense. That makes
Yeah.
sense.
No.
And just
Wow.
the way that
Yeah.
we humans have, domesticated, I mean, and domesticate, it just is a tricky situation, where it's like we got to help we've gotten ourselves into an impossible situation in some ways where like we've done this, so we got to help them, but like it feels bad.
I'd like to think that
Yeah.
you happen to have, and anybody else decent out there happens to have, like what has to be in bird society, the lazy guy. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to be going out and hunting for worms. I'm very happy inside of a house watching The Simpsons, getting my water out of a
Getting the
little
peanut butter.
bottle. Yeah, could you make the water a little bit colder, please? You know how much bacteria is in like Brazil nature water, I think. You know? I mean, so let's just consider the fact that you gave an easy
Mhm.
life to this
Yeah.
bird from Brazil,
Mhm.
and they're very thankful for it. In fact, I could be that bird, and I'd be very happy to live in your cage.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
If I were a bird, I would like a Snicky as my human for
Yeah.
sure.
I
My
would like
goodness.
to ask another question though. Since
Yeah.
you've like raised birds and you've really been around them, have you felt like, okay, I have a connection with my dog that I think that trumps most people's connection with their children, and
Yeah.
that's silly, but also it's kind of the truth inside of my head, meaning that like there's so much personification that's going on. There's so much like emotional, like not just uh like that this animal is there for me, more so that it's uh like they share their feelings with me and I share my feel, and we both listen to each other, but I don't know how much of that is
Mm.
in my head. Anyway, did you ever feel that way about the bird that you were living with, like they were looking at you and they were trying to emote and you felt it?
I definitely feel like my larger parrot breed had some. I mean, they all do. They're all kind of like intuitive about what you're doing, but he really, I felt like he could read me very well. Yeah, if that answers your
Yeah.
Wow.
question. And
Yeah, I guess
and
so. I mean, huh.
Yeah.
Did it ever like lay its feelings on you?
Mm.
I don't know. There's so much to them. They they will literally like learn as babies to scream when you leave the room. So you have to
Scream.
it's so funny. They do it like they're trying to scream for their parents. So you have to teach them a contact call that you prefer so that they're not just screaming when you leave the room. So
That's
there
in the
was a
bird
whistle
manual.
that I would
Wow.
there was a whistle that I had to do when I left the room, and if I was out of the, if you're upstairs or if you're in another room and he doesn't know what part of the house you're in, he'll do this whistle, and then you whistle back, and then he knows where you are, and it's like 100 little things like that, and you wonder, like, this is like a little person in a cage.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
Sneaky.
this is like.
Can you do the whistle? Can you do the whistle?
Oh.
It's
just
like
a certain tone.
Oh, no, okay,
Yeah.
okay. So it wasn't like a melody or anything, just a certain tone. Okay.
I
was like,
I would have really
No,
loved
no.
that.
Yeah.
But boy, could he sing. He'd whip you off a Jurassic Park any day.
Do you have a bird now?
I do. I have a budgie that I bought from a disreputable breeder.
Uh-oh.
Because I was so
What's
sad.
what's a ruppy?
My parrot. Oh, a disreputable breeder.
Oh, okay.
Budgie.
Yeah.
Budgie.
Yeah, I bought a budgie, and
Wait,
his name is Beep, and he's.
Yeah, what's a
Budgie is
budgie?
type
What's
of
a
bird?
budgie, Sneaky? I think are they really little?
Yeah, sorry. He's really quite small. Yeah, he's the smallest. He's not the smallest hookbill, but he's almost the smallest hookbill there is.
What's a hookbill?
Doesn't get
Sneaky,
any more
you're using
smaller
words we don't
parrots
know.
than that.
What's a hookbill? Is it exactly what it sounds like?
Oh, like a parrot, just like the breed of parrot that he is. Yeah. Yeah.
You were
he's
a perfect
real
person
tiny
to
little
call
guy.
in because you know a lot about. Yeah, you're using words that are like hookbill parrots. I feel like I'm learning a lot.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
God. I could talk birds all day. I don't want to tie up your line.
Birds. Well, Snicky.
Birds.
I'm very happy you called in.
Delightful.
Can you make this the first of many and maybe come and call and talk to us about bird
please.
stories?
I will.
And other things.
Anything else?
Man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This
anything
is
else
so
would be
good.
great. Anything and birds. Yeah.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah,
I do.
absolutely.
I have a budgie right now, and he's rocking my world, and just loving it. And we're all
What's his
loving
name?
5 on it live.
What's his name?
His name is Beep.
Beep or beep?
Beep. Like beep.
Like
beep,
the noise, like the car
Like the
horn.
noise. Oh,
Beep.
great.
Yeah.
Beep. Okay, well,
That's a
say
great
hello
bird.
to Beep for us, please.
That's a great bird
Oh,
name.
that is a great bird name.
Yeah.
Beep the budgie.
Beep. We have a bird fan. Beep.
Beep the
the
budgie.
bird fan. Sticky, thank you so
Yeah,
much for calling
your
in.
first bird
Can't wait to
fan.
hear from you again. Love you.
Oh, love you guys so much. Thanks for making such a cool space for the weirdos and the dreamers. We love you. We love you so much. Oh, thanks again.
Sneaky.
Thank you for being a
Thank
dreamer and a
you.
lover and a weirdo
And a
and all
weirdo.
of that stuff.
Yeah.
And if you are that as well, please call in.
Call
We wanna be your
in.
friend as well.
Call
Not
in.
just us. I understand how I can be a little off-putting. Talk to Mouse.
We balance each other out nicely. If I'm a little too nice and explain too much or say sorry too much, then you can talk to Craig.
Yeah,
And if he's a little too rough for you, then just come to me. It's fine.
I don't think I'm
We got
really
you
that
covered.
rough.
No, you're not.
Although I was at work today,
Yeah.
and some of the guys that were on this crew that I was working, they left their radio on when they were done talking to me, and they said, I heard one of them say, "Man, Craig is really like a Sith," and they all went, "Yeah," and I was like, "What the fuck does that mean?"
What?
I don't think Siths were good guy, but
They-
I also think that it wasn't. I think that these guys and I get along. Maybe I'm delusional, so I don't think it was a negative thing. But it did have my heart beating as I was walking back. Like, should I bring this up and make a joke out of it? But then I just thought that I wouldn't. I don't think it
Ooh,
would.
I'm
I think that they
curious
meant it lovingly, but I don't think I understand the
I could
reference.
see it being in a because as somebody who works with you, hey, did you know we work together? You can like you can get into a zone that can feel maybe like a
Yeah, I get into a zone
like
sometimes.
I don't want to use too extreme of a word, but maybe that's why they said Sith, because I was gonna say like militant, but you're not militant. But so maybe it's more like fantastical. So that's Sith like where it's like you get laser focused and like in the zone and on a thing and but interesting.
Yeah, that's really
Interesting take.
I mean, you tried. You tried really.
I really did.
I
I tried
tried.
really
I
hard. I
tried the
tried
same
really
thing
hard.
that you tried, and then you come back and you're like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. I don't know. You might have to ask them. If anybody has any takes on
If
why
they're
Craig
listening,
might
we
be
did
a
send them a link. Whatever. Live TV, everybody. Well, we have curated a little cartoon for everybody this evening, and so, Chris, let's go to that.
Hi, Mickey on the red, Rose on the red day. Can you hear the flowing? Can you hear the road? Diner by your horn, diner by your horn, you horn, horn. Diner by your horn, diner by your horn, you horn. I'm in the kitchen when Dino. I'm in the kitchen with Dino. Let me on banjo. John, run the barn. John, shh, be quiet. You don't want to wake everyone up. Where's Birdie? You know he flew away. Away, away. I'm a birdie. We're gonna catch the bird. Follow me. Birdie gang, and fly up high, and you'll scare it away. Birds are shy. And they could break very easily, and they could fly up there. You be quiet, Marky. This is the place. I do a cat, and nothing do. A car roll over a moon. You're lucky I see that, but and I just ran away. You hold the bait. That's just tangy. Nancy, now we're gonna dig a hole. What? Dig, 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 dig. Okay, Mary. We're gonna spread the bait, and we're going to take a little peek and roll the rope over. And also, just in case we're gonna catch a little bird, let's dig up. We're gonna use the house. Big, big, big hole. I'm kidding. No, let me dig the hole. No, you not. Not Mary dig a hole. No. The double's too big. I have to dig the hole. No, dig a hole. Dig a hole. Dig the hole. You can't dig the hole. Yes, I could. No, you can't. You could dig the hole. Here's the shovel. I had to dig the hole. No, I had to dig the hole. You can dig the hole. Here. You shouldn't make so much noise. You'll wake Mommy, Daddy up, and they'll say we have to go home. No. Now you give me the bait. No, it's tangy. That's our bait. Bait for the bird.
And now, I'm very excited to announce our very first musical performance, Be None.
Hello, dear, it's nice to meet you. I'm here because I'm feeling incomplete. I never got your name because I never tried, and I can't shake emotions that I have inside. You move me, and I don't know why. You move me until I cry. And now it's nice to meet you. I'm now over the moon, never to come back. And now that I'm over you, on this day, a million miles away, you told me that you could not ever love again. I climbed aboard my vessel and you waved to me goodbye. I never knew you had blue tears behind your eyes. You moved me through the distant skies. You moved me until I died. And now I have to leave you. I'm now over the moon, never to come back. And now that I'm over you, 'cause now that I'm insane, aftermath remains. It's time to face the facts. Then back, I'll love you just the same as rocket engine flame. Since that day has come, it's multiplied. Fantastic tales of living out alive. I wanted to explain the fear behind my eyes. I wanted you to know the painful plight. You move me, and I don't know why. I'm now over the moon, never to come back. And now that I'm over you,
Can't hear Craig.
Oh no! You wouldn't believe what I just said. I'll never remember. I'll never remember what I just said, but it was so profound. But wasn't that just lovely, Mallory?
I blown away. For our first musical guest, what a gift. So beautiful.
You know, I know Brody from a long time ago. We worked on this project together. He has this amazing band named called Beanon, and this is one of their songs. And we worked on this like it was like a rock opera. It was like it was set in outer space, and he was showing us all these songs that he wrote, and he played me this song, and I haven't heard it in maybe over 10 years. And we were talking about musical guests, and the very first name that popped into my head was the first song that popped into my head was that song. I thought, how appropriate and beautiful for our setting, and it really hit the spot for me.
It's perfect. I mean, every time I've heard it, I tear up a little.
Yeah.
It's perfect for our vibes. It's real late night, wistful, sweet, tender. Ugh.
I hope you enjoyed it at home as well, and we're so excited to bring more musical guests to you, more art. Not only did this amazing thing work out with Brody to be our musical guest, but he has become really part of our team. Again, all of these graphics and
That new intro
that
graphic
new
we
intro, that's
had, he
all
put together.
Brody.
Yeah.
And yeah, we're just so excited to have him on, and we
Yeah.
will see another performance from Beanon later on in the show. So stick around for that. And right now we have another caller on the line. Caller, are you there?
I am here. Yes, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Wonderful.
Thank you for calling. What's your
This
name?
is very exciting.
My name is Brandon, and I'm calling from Kansas City, Missouri.
Okay. Oh.
Wow.
Filled in quickly with the last name.
Can you?
I forgot that he was calling.
Yes. You gotta be careful. Yeah. Hi, Brandon.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah. Sorry.
So
calling from Kansas
it's
City.
fine.
Hey, Brandon, what would you like to talk about?
Well, so I don't know Mallory, but I've known Greg now for, I don't know, over 30 years. You're close to 30 years.
Yeah,
that's a long time.
We go way back, and so I was very excited when he told me that the theme of tonight's show was about birds. So I've got a lot of thoughts on birds, and
right.
So I wanted to share some thoughts I have about birds, specifically one that ties to myself and Greg. I'd mentioned that we've known each other for several years, close to 30, right? Wouldn't you say?
Wow. Do we own a bird together? Yeah, I would say at least 30. I would say at least 30 years. Yes. And Brandon, it is like I'm sorry for doing what I did earlier, but I was like, my heart flutters when I heard your voice there. It's really, really so nice. So yes, please include me on this memory regarding birds. I can't wait to hear it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, first, I would like to apologize if I do sound a little seductive or sultry.
You always have.
It's after midnight now in Kansas City, and I'm never up this late. And so,
thank you for cluing us in. Happy midnight. Happy midnight.
Yeah. Absolutely. Brandon, like it was performed. Yeah, we've got midnight in the Central Time Zone.
Yeah.
So thank you for celebrating that with us. On cue with our midnight across America theme. And you have brought in the Central Coast, where I was born and raised and where I met you. Lovely.
Yes, where you met me, and where, again, great segue, Craig, that we joined, we started a street gang at one point in our formative years. So I would like to take you back to our high school.
I can't wait.
Here, we himself and I won't use last names because I understand how.
Yeah. Oh man. We'll edit that out in post. Yeah, we'll bleep that out in post. Okay,
Myself,
I know what this is about.
Craig, Tanner, Devin, a handful of gentlemen. We started a street gang, and we were called the A-Birds.
Naturally.
And of course. And,
because why?
Yeah,
because
why?
every tough, and actually this is really important to mention, and I can't believe I didn't think about this earlier. Every tough street gang is named after a bird. Like
sure.
T-birds, A-birds. Am I the only one that thinks that?
Yeah.
Maybe. Okay.
No,
wait.
You are.
Yeah. Okay. This is just a me
thing.
I
think you are.
Okay. Right. Go ahead. Yeah. Go.
Well, so, and if you recall the name A-Birds, how that A originated, it actually, Craig, stood for abortion.
I believe I do remember that. Well, we were very pro-choice.
No, I think
we were very
very
pro-choice.
I'm deeply interested.
Yeah, and so we lived in I think a relatively conservative community. Would you say that, Brandon?
I would, although I am pleased to note that there are quite a few. There are much fewer Trump signs around in this area this go round. So that
nice.
makes my
That's
heart
really
happy.
good to hear. Are
Yeah,
you seeing
it
are you seeing people supporting like Kamala
RFK
Harris?
Jr. It's just all RFK Jr. as far as the eye can see. So no, yeah, there are quite a few Harris
Wow.
signs, like way more Biden signs than I used to see. My neighbor is
Wow.
diagonal, and I live very near Craig's parents, actually.
Where he
I could-
lives, you could actually throw a rock from where I grew up to his house. Actually, the house, I think that the house that he lives in, if I'm not mistaken, because he sent me photos, it was the very first and only time I ever babysat anybody, but it was the only house I ever babysat in.
He wasn't babysitting me.
I was okay. Thank you.
I
I'm
don't
like,
want that
I was
to
like,
be-
I don't
yeah.
know how to ask this, given it sounds like you were
No.
peers and in the street gang together. So yeah, yeah, babysit.
So-
okay, so yeah.
No,
Thank
I
you for
remember going
thanks for
out.
clarifying, Brandon. Yeah.
So as
Yeah.
A-Birds, now this is a flood of memories came back to me, and a lot of them had to do with like making videos at night. Actually, I'm going someplace. Thank you, Brandon. This brought up a really good track for me, I think. So I remember it was like, I think it was a pre-Jackass, 2CKY kind of videos coming into at least our eyes, and we would make a lot of videos together. We would like have hot dog eating contests. We would we had a thing where whenever we would hear what was the Mace song, Brandon?
Not Mo Money, Mo Problems.
No, it was a Mace song.
The other Mace
Mace
song.
with a $sign. It's important to include that. And whenever we
I'm
would
Coming
hear
Out.
that,
That's what it was.
yeah. Whenever we would hear that song, no matter where, we had agreed amongst ourselves that we would rip off our clothes down to our underwear and wrestle until the song was over. So I think that happened in a grocery store a couple times, and maybe in a bowling alley, for sure, in a bowling alley. So it was that kind of like what would you call that behavior? Derelict behavior?
That's a good word, I think.
Derelict? I don't even know if I know what that word means.
I mean, I was like, ooh, I don't know, but it sounds right, because I've been really thinking when you first said, what was it, A-Birds, and you were a street gang.
Yeah.
I was like, what does that mean? And we're honing in on what you're filling out what that means.
Yeah. It was mostly
we didn't have
slightly
knives.
post-pubescent teenage boys wrestling
Right.
around in their underwear in Craig's basement.
Quite the
listening
gang.
to late 90s hip hop.
Late 90s
So,
hip hop. Yeah.
And
so
we
what,
also
go ahead.
I had a pair of very tight pants at one point that I believe I had procured from a dumpster, and I would
As
wear
one
the
does.
pants, and then we would take turns kicking me in the crotch while I wore the tight pants, because I could make such a barrier with the tight crotch pants that my testicles remained unharmed.
This is
Well, that's
something
just science.
That's just science, and that is also something that is very interesting to put yourself through as a post-pubescent teenager. You've got these new jewels. How are you going to protect them? And where's that end of that envelope? But I think even more interestingly than that, so we had this reel of footage, Mallory, that we put together called the A-Birds tapes or something like that. And at the time, you have to let me set a context. So Brandon and I were both in the video production area of our class, basically producing a show very similar to this. To be honest, I would say not as entertaining. Brandon, you
Mhm.
might have an opinion on that, but that's kind of how we met and became friends. And so we just kind of continued this like creative thing that we were learning, and we took it out, and that was really our motivation. But I do remember on that reel there was a shot for shot shot for shot remake of the movie Point Break with um do you remember the characters? A small statuette of David representing yeah.
Mhm.
Do you remember?
We used Ninja Turtle figurines for part of it. We tried to do some
Great.
kind of stop motion, and it didn't really work. And we couldn't remember the characters' names, so we called them Johnny Utah, which we did get right. And then I think Gary Busey was just Gary Busey. So yeah, it was.
Love
It
it.
was brilliant.
Does this video still exist somewhere?
I think that I gave it to somebody. Excuse me, honey. I'm
Isa.
Okay.
Little Isa.
Thank you. Excuse
Sorry.
me. Excuse me. That was so rude. I I so anyway, my point in bringing up all of this stuff was that it was so interesting to me, because what else was fulfilling that like um expressive urge for us? Like, we didn't want to be in a street gang where we were fighting each other. That's certainly not our type. But we wanted to like have a leather jacket with a logo.
I love that.
You know?
I love it. And the more that I'm hearing, the more like endeared I like to imagine a bunch of teen boys doing gentle pranks
Yeah.
on the world and making movies together with Ninja Turtles. Like, it just sounds like you got to practice expressing yourselves with each other. That's beautiful.
I do remember one time, though, actually, that we did run over Brandon with his own car.
Yeah. That wasn't
Okay, well, Brandon is still alive because we're talking to him, but how did that go?
Well, we were making a video, I think promoting homecoming, because school dances obviously need promotion, and who better to do that than a street gang of young boys in their underwear.
Yeah.
And the scene, I believe we had a stunt, and the stunt was I was walking home dejected after a bad homecoming experience, and my own car being driven by Ryan, whose last name will again be omitted.
I'm
he
sorry.
hit me with my own 1988 Ford Taurus. I rolled up on the hood, then off, and we actually got the shot pretty good.
It was a great shot.
Wow.
The problem was Ryan forgot to then put the car in park when he got out. And so the car remained in drive and just went right over me. The wheel literally went over my midsection. And then I got trapped under the car because it's pretty low profile. So
and
I
it was
under
very
the car.
There's only a few like I doubt Brandon has ever made that sound again. It was a very, very particular kind of scream that comes out as a
Did you have to go to the
1995?
Yeah. So
did you have to go to the hospital? Okay. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So we had to call the fire department, the good folks at the Kansas City Fire Department. They had to put these kind of airbags under the side of the car to lift it off of me. and then I had to take a sweet ambulance ride to the hospital.
Wait, so you were stuck with the car on top of you for a while until the ambulance got there?
Yeah. The girls' JV basketball team showed up as this was happening. This was after hours at school. We were in this school kind of like drive that led up to the school. So the girls' basketball team showed up, and some of the guys that were part of the filming ran over and pleaded with their coach, "Hey, somebody's stuck under the car. We had an accident." And I think his response was something to the effect of, "Well, yeah, y'all shouldn't have been jacking around," and then that was it. So
he's not wrong, but
So,
horrifying that he didn't
yeah,
move
so-
faster to help a teen stuck under a car.
what was he gonna do? I guess. So
Felt like we were very
I had a
adult.
cool shirt.
Okay.
What's that?
It felt like we were very adult. Like we demanded the same
Mm-hmm.
disrespect that you would any crazy adult, but certainly not. I wouldn't think people were calling us crazy kids. They were like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's hard to say. And I'm sorry,
Well,
Brandon, please.
We're all very old. We're all very
Yeah.
old men at heart.
We
were teen boys
Old
in
men
our
at heart.
tight underwear, wrestling in your basement, but we had these old spirits.
We did.
I think really
We did.
So
And we did. And you were somebody that very first were the only other person that I knew. And I remember we were driving through a parking lot of a mall when you told me that you listened to Coast AM2. And I was like, wow, I didn't know
Yeah.
anybody else that listened to that like I do. And yeah, I mentioned, yeah, it's just, this is like the full circle
I was
journey
gonna
of
say,
that,
this is full circle then.
It really
That's
is.
beautiful.
I mean, I would cut.
Yeah.
I think that I cut literally my creative teeth. Well, not. I think I know for a fact my creative teeth were cut with Brandon in the middle of the night in Gladstone, Missouri, wrestling around in our tight underwear and making, sneaking out.
so homosexual. Yeah.
A little bit, but only the good parts, like it was
Only the good
Oh,
parts.
wait,
of
yeah,
homosexuality.
Thank you, Brandon.
Yeah,
What?
only the good parts. Only the good parts. So it was fantastically homoerotic what we were
Great.
going through together.
Mhm.
Yeah.
We went
Yeah.
to like some of the most haunted places in America, apparently in the middle of the night together. I think.
Yep.
Making videos
Yeah.
of trying to
We were fully
summon
clothed
devils.
when we did that, though.
Wait,
Okay, fully clothed then. Okay, cool.
yeah.
Yeah, that was
There's
not
one thing
just
I
in
know:
our
you
underwear.
don't want to be naked when Satan shows up.
Yeah,
I've heard.
This is
it's
true.
bad luck to have an erection in a graveyard. Everybody knows that.
Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, thanks that.
Yeah,
Thank you. Yeah.
Is that how that song goes? I forgot.
Yeah,
I
there are
really-
like 4 songs about that.
Oh, okay.
So do you
Wait,
go
sorry,
ahead.
because you're talking about all this content, and I need to know. We need
Mhm.
Brandon. Do you have any of this content still? It sounds like you took lots of videos and stuff. I really need.
I don't.
I need-
It was
oh.
Craig was the record keeper, and so I
So
think
no,
that
no
when-
one has it anymore.
when his parents demanded that he leave their basement, I think they may have ceremoniously burnt all of it in some
Yeah.
sort of.
Is that how it went down, Craig?
No. I am a fool, and I moved to New York, and I thought I'll be a film director, and I've got this great reel of footage that my friends and I put together, and I sent off my compilation of stuff to Pratt University for their film program,
Mhm.
and they were like, "This is not only absurd, but we're not going to write you back, and we're also not going to give you this bullshit back. We're throwing it away for you." And I thought, oh, I should have made a copy of, like, I know how to make a copy of that, but I didn't.
Mm.
I was very ill-informed and not prepared for adulthood when my parents boldly kicked me out of their basement and sent me on my way and burnt all my stuff. This never happened. By
Well,
the way.
I think it's very unfortunate, but I think the path forward, Craig, is that the real solution here is that we need to remake all of these videos.
Obviously.
That is a great idea.
I mean,
And now we're adults
40-year-old
enough that we can
men
actually get leather jackets
rolling
made.
around in their underwear. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Wow.
I
Into
feel
the
like I still
graveyard.
look young enough that I could get away with that.
Mhm.
Mallory,
what?
I didn't like the face that you just made.
When you said young, yeah, that wasn't a comment on how old or young you look. I just I don't know, maybe being rambunctious like that in public.
No, you definitely go to jail. And
Yeah,
it's
yeah, that's why I'm like
creepy.
concerned.
It's
And
really
that's why I was like,
weird.
I'm concerned for you and
Yeah.
Brandon. It's like maybe don't do that, but yet like remaking Point Break with Ninja Turtles, you can still be hooligans, but
That we should
as
definitely make
actual adults. Yeah.
Okay, if we get 10,000 subscribers, me and Brandon will remake shot for shot
Yes.
Point Break the movie with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Renaissance sculptures. Deal? Do I have you on the line for that, Brandon?
Yeah, no, I'm fully committed to that.
That sounds
We
amazing.
may or may not also kick each other in the crotch. I don't know. We won't do it in public. We'll make sure that we're somewhere, out of the public eye.
And neither of us drink anymore either, right?
Right.
Ooh, was all of this happening? You were all.
Oh yeah. Oh, did we not mention that?
No.
Oh. That
I mean,
come first.
I feel like that should be just assumed, but I, wasn't a teen who indulged. So yeah, when I was picturing you as teenagers, I was like, what? But yeah, it makes more sense if you were all experimenting with various substances too.
So,
yeah,
really, before we let you go, because this is something. While I have you on the line, Brandon, because I think that you're uniquely capable of answering this. What is it from the first episode that we did here? And I think until we kind of figure out exactly what this is and our audience figures out exactly what this is with us, what is it about this, like, the comfort of reading comic books underneath a light at night, or tuning into AM radio that goes for way too long, but it's when you tune in, it's weird stories of people finding, their dead mother is now a fish, that lives in their koi pond or something like that, like, or open mic nights. I remember going to open mic nights with you in high school. Like, was sneaking into bars and going to open mic nights. Do you know what it was for you that drew you to that so much?
I mean, it's just the sense of knowing that, in the deepest part of the night, no matter where you're at, that you're not the only weirdo who's alone out there, right? That there are plenty of other weirdos, even if it's only a voice on the other end of a radio, or the ghost of your dead mother communicating to you via a koi pond.
Yeah, right.
It's just another living thing letting you know that you're not alone in the universe. Because sometimes, when it's dark and when we're alone, it starts to feel that way. So,
wow,
beautifully said.
That's Brandon. Thank you so much for calling in.
Thank you so much for calling, Brandon.
For this to be the first of many. And
yeah, I really want to hear more Craig as a teen stories. So please call in again.
They get progressively more pornographic. So.
I look forward to that truly.
Oh man, that was so
awesome.
That was so awesome, Brandon. Thank you so much for calling in, and yeah, I look forward to speaking to you again. Stick with us because you're one of us. Mallory,
wow,
the show is just moving like so quickly for me that
can I just say, wait, sorry, I just love when your friends call in.
Who knew you? When I heard his voice, I was like, whoa!
Especially who knew you when you were a teen. Because, I think that when you have friends that you make as an adult, we all have stories about ourselves as teens and kids. And so I've heard from you, some stories and like your reflections on your childhood and teenhood. And oh gosh, do your friends fill it out in a delightful way. So
I'll tell you, and I'll throw this out there, and hopefully it excites Brandon in some way that he's excited to come back on and tell this story and a little bit more. But there's only one like formal film that I made in high school, and it was called A Boy and His Dog Backwards, and it starred Brandon. And on that shoot, we crossed a railroad bridge over a big river in the middle of winter with like ice flying underneath. And what you might assume happened, and it became a very crazy situation. And I'll leave it there, hopefully, as a little bit of bait to bring him back on and hopefully spark
I
some
need to hear
curiosity.
the rest of this story.
Yeah.
Brandon,
Yeah.
call in again for the
It
rest
was
of
a
the
pretty
story.
wild situation. So, you know what? We're moving so quickly. We've got a lot more to get to, but I want to give you a little bit more of that cartoon that we had going, and so maybe we can finish that up, and then we'll be right back with you, Chris. Cartoon.
No, it's not big. I hear something. Stay down. Yes. I'm listening for the bird. I see a bird. No, you have to hear the bird and can't see the bird. You're in a hole. Oh. So get down. Thanks. You're welcome. I'm hungry. You want a piece of candy? Yeah. I'll get it. That is a bait. No, bait. I told you. You know I could have one. No more candy. Who says I can't get one? I'm gonna get one. I got some in my pocket. One candy, two candies. 3, 27. Again. Card, go in the car. In the garage, the bang, the bang. Ow. You want to hold the rope? Yeah. You're not holding it the right way. Hold it. You're supposed to twirl it up. What? You're supposed to twirl it up. What? You're supposed to twirl it up. I can't hear you. Get in the hole. You're not holding it in the right place. No. I go for you. Be quiet, Happy. I'm not. Okay, then don't speak. No laughing. I was a song. We have to be quiet. No songs. Yeah. Mommy said no songs. So no songs. Yeah. No. I didn't sing a song. Then sing Hi Diddle Diddle once. Hey, diddle. Hey, diddle. Hey, diddle, hey, diddle. Hey, diddle, diddle, cat. Shh. I think it's up there now. That's the bell. Shh. I've been working on the railroad all the live long day. I did that. I've been working on the railroad just the time I pass the day. He can't you hear the whistle blow. Wing, rising up so early in the morning. Can't you hear the captain shouting? Dino, blow your horn. Dino, won't you blow? Dino, won't you blow? Dino, won't you blow your horn? Dino, won't you blow? Dino, won't you blow? Dino, won't you blow your horn? V-A-5, a fiddle-I-O. V-5, fiddle-I-O. V-5, a fiddle-I-O. V-5, fiddle-I-O. Strumming on the banjo. There's a bird up there. Big bird up there. Are you sad? Yeah, no more candy, bird. Come on, jump down and come home with us. I kiss you, birdie. Thanks. You can live in our room, but you have to be quiet. I'm home on the Renka. Dragara, the Ricky Frank. Gonna do a deca, Renga Raka, a Raka Raka, what the Raka? Hey, Renga Raka, Gonna Shanga try it, gonna get Roger, a Renga Day.
Hi, Mallory. Hi, Craig. It's Lala. Just calling to say congratulations on your show. I love your chemistry, your vulnerability. I just love watching every week and seeing the range that your callers bring, from ghost stories to desert adventures to childhood traumas to life transitions and crises and so much more. I'm loving the depth, the connections, the community. Thank you for this show and keep up the amazing work.
Oh my God. I hadn't heard that yet. That's my best friend. Oh, she's family. Lala. She also has a very cool podcast that they're just ending called Seen the Podcast. Check it out.
Oh.
It's very, very cool.
I would love to hear that.
It's really great, really successful. They had it for her and her co-host had it for a few years. Yeah, it's really great. People check it out. Anyways, I just hearing her voice. I'm like, oh, that's so nice.
That was
Lala.
so
That was
nice.
so nice. That was so nice.
It's so great, the support that we have from these people that
Yeah.
we know, and the people that we don't know. And for those of you that we don't know and those of you that we do know, please call us. We want to talk to you.
Yeah.
And everybody else wants to hear whatever you've got to talk
Yeah.
about. We've spoken about a lot tonight.
We really have.
Yeah. And I feel like we've just had so much to do this show that it's just been moving so quickly. We're already halfway through.
It's gone by so quickly. I'm having the best time. I'm having a really great time.
I am too.
Yeah.
Well, since we're halfway through the show, it feels appropriate to maybe do something like a moon. Do we have anything? Do we have anything that could go with like moons or?
You know how we like moons,
Chris?
You know we like moons.
We've got some, and I think with some new music or something. I don't know. Chris said that he has something special in my ear right now, which might be taking a little bit of time. But Chris, nightly readings. Well, that didn't go exactly as planned, but you get the idea. We're doing something different. Come next Saturday where we'll have it right down. It'll be funny and hilarious, and you'll forget this ever happened. Hey, Mallory.
Hey, Craig.
We're back. And I think that we have a call coming through, but I'd like to sit and just reflect on where we're at.
Yeah.
Take a little beat.
Yeah, that sounds nice.
I've been
Okay,
going
well, make
real
it
hard.
comfy.
You know what? Let me
Let's get
express something.
comfy.
I think I've had a particular kind of energy here today, and I've been up since 5 in the morning. I had a big job this morning, and I worked all day, and then I came home, and then I set up the studio, and then I set up the lights, and it's a lot to do. And listen, I'm not saying I have it worse than anybody else. I'm just saying that I had a stressful day, and I came in with a particular energy that maybe I should just breathe.
Well, I think that's a good idea. I mean, that's always a good idea. Hey, everybody out there, do we want to breathe together? Should we do this?
Let's just breathe together. Maybe we could just breathe together. Oh, actually, that does feel.
Oh, that was really nice. Yeah, that was really nice. That was
Huh.
really nice. Huh.
I should breathe more often.
Yeah, I'm clocking this and like maybe gonna make us do this before we do a show.
Do you hold your breath often?
Oh,
like when you sleep and stuff? Because I do all the time.
Oh, all the time.
Why do we do that?
All the time. I mean, anxiety. I think a lot of people have a lot of anxiety. That's a holding your breath. I've done it since I was a kid, and
yeah, me too.
Yeah,
I think I started doing it because I was afraid that every movie when I was a kid, it was like somebody getting suffocated with a pillow. You know, I feel like it was on all of the television shows and so I sat in bed and I would squeeze my pillow over my face, and I was like, I don't really think that anybody would die like this, but if you move around, you use some energy, you know. So I was just like, well, what I'll do is I'll learn how to hold my breath for 2 minutes, and then they'll just think I'm a dead boy and move on to the next place.
I'm just gonna need us to pause and slow down.
Wait, what?
Around that
Wait, you didn't do that?
No, no, and
Huh.
I don't want to make you feel weird because I definitely had my own version of that, but that is so specific.
Right?
And I'm so glad that you're prepared if ever that happens, that you can, you know, and actually I just learned that if somebody, you know, breaks into my house trying to kill me with a pillow, like, oh yeah, that makes sense. Just hold your breath.
Just
Play
hold your
dead.
breath.
Play dead. Play dead.
Play dead.
Yeah.
Hold your breath.
So is that when you started holding your breath, was to practice playing dead?
Yes.
Mm.
And then I realized like I was pretty good at it. I wasn't great at swimming, but I was pretty good at I wasn't great at swimming, but I was great at holding my breath, which is a component of swimming.
Yeah, I was gonna ask how that, but
Just the
yes,
physical
holding your
stuff.
breath. Oh, and like managing your breath is a major part of swimming.
Oh,
always.
managing my breath, I'm not good at.
Well, yes,
Holding my breath,
Mhm.
great at.
Mm.
Yeah.
Did you ever like do like competitions with your friends as a kid, like who could hold their breath the longest?
I'm sure I
Yeah.
must have, but
I mean,
I think I was a little embarrassed at how well I could do it. So I
Wait,
just
what?
didn't.
Wait, that's confusing too. You weren't embarrassed. That's a
Yeah, because
cool skill.
Well, because like when you hang out with other guys and boys, yeah, they really want to win, and I knew I didn't want to win that much, and I was just like,
Got it. You didn't want to flaunt your holding your breath abilities. Yeah.
Right. It aggravates a lot of my friends.
You what? Huh? What did you say?
I said it aggravates a lot of my friends.
Aggravates.
Yeah.
How good you are at holding your breath. Yeah.
Yeah.
That checks out.
Generally.
I'm not mad because I'm also very good at holding my breath because I practiced a lot as a child. Not for those reasons.
Game recognized game.
Game recognizes game.
Right.
Yeah, man.
What were your reasons?
There's something. Well, definitely it started, I think, to try and manage trauma feelings in my body, like anxiety. I feel like anxiety feelings like your heart is racing and you're breathing fast. I feel like holding your breath, or when I would hold my breath, it would feel like it would pause it for a second, like when you're breathing, like you feel your heart beating more, and it's like, I think when I hold my breath, it sort of feels like I'm controlling the blood pumping and the anxiety in a way. So that's where it started.
It's turned into a thing where I'm sitting next to somebody watching, a movie, and they're like,
"Are you breathing,
dude? I don't think you breathed for like a minute and a half."
Oh yeah, I'm still regularly in therapy. Yeah, my therapist is like, "Oh, Mallory, are you breathing?" I'm like, "Oh no, I wasn't. Thank you for reminding me." Yeah, but I mean that's why there's the say like hold your breath, like you hold your breath when you're anticipating or waiting, for something. I think I'm not a doctor. I don't know.
Do you think that birds, when they dive, when they like make a dive? Oh wait. Life isn't a cartoon, Craig.
Wait, finish that. No, finish that thought. Finish that thought.
I was going to ask if birds hold their nose when they dive, but why would they?
Wait, like we do when we swim? Is that what you're relating it to?
Yeah.
Like diving, swimming?
Yeah, it was like a figurative illustration.
Well, I was going to say, like, do birds hold their breath? I feel like that's a good question. I don't know. I wonder if they do.
How do birds hold their breath? You know what? Hold that thought, Mallory. Maybe we have an expert right now.
Breathe, too. Okay.
And do you want to do the honors?
Hey, caller. Are you on the line?
Yes. Hi, I'm here.
Hi.
Oh, hi.
Who is this?
My name's James.
Hi, Jane.
Wait, I want to make sure. James, or did it?
James. Am I coming through?
Yes. Yeah. I just want to get it right. Yeah. Nice to meet you. What do you want to talk about?
I was calling to talk about Brody, but I also I just caught up and heard all of this stuff about the birds.
Yeah.
Great.
Okay.
We're wide open.
You
lead.
Let's talk about Brody.
Come right back up. I feel like they can do it. Me and Brody are old friends.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
And so, what do you think
he's
about?
A wonderful person.
Yeah.
I think.
Do you have any bird stories?
Did
you guys ever in any street gangs together?
I I can tell a story about Brody, if that's okay.
Please do. Please do.
Okay.
Okay. So I have known Brody for probably 20 years. I've seen
Okay.
him play a whole bunch of times. I have lived with 3 different members of his band.
Mm.
And the first time I found his record was on the street in the Czech Republic.
Are you from the Czech Republic?
Wow.
No. I'm very much from Kansas City.
But you were in the Czech Republic, and that was where you were introduced to Brody from Kansas City?
No, I'd never bought his merch. I've never helped him out with his stuff.
You're like, this stuff follows me to the Czech Republic?
I found his record on the sidewalk in the Czech Republic in Prague. And I bought it, and I brought it home, and I gave it to Ryan Shank, who's a mutual friend of ours. And I hope that it was supposed to go to him. And really what I'm trying to find out is, did you actually get it?
Oh, wow.
So
you were trying to ask Brody if he actually got it.
You're trying to
Did
ask.
you actually get it?
Interesting. Well, you know
I have
what?
photo evidence of all of this.
Oh,
He's
okay. I just
here.
got a text from him that says, I did not. So he did not.
Yeah.
I assumed he did not. I kind of knew he did not.
This is interesting, James. Is there what a wonderful way to yeah, because I'm trying to like maybe develop my question. I'm curious as to what this was an interesting way of taking up that conversation with Brody. Right? Like, I mean, it's interesting that like there is this there are degrees of separation, right? That you would mark with any form of communication. Like, okay, and the internet is like the middleman, right? The post office, and then the store, the facility where they sort it, and the mail truck, and that's one, a series of degrees. This seems like a lot of degrees to find out if Brody got something from you. It's quite something.
I'm happy to be the vehicle for
Yeah,
that.
of
But
course.
yes, good point. That is interesting. Are you still connected with Brody, or?
So I just recently relocated back to around where Brody lives, and I won't like shout him out to where he lives, but I was staying very shortly in a place that was very close to him, and then I moved to like a different area. He hit me up and he was like, I just saw you just like walking down the street, and I was like, yeah, man, like that's great. But that's really all the talk we've had since I've like totally relocated from a completely different area.
Well, and James, how have you enjoyed this this experience hanging out here? How did you like the performance? What do you think? How are we doing? Do you have any notes?
Full tilt, like I didn't know anything about it. I heard that he was going to play another song. Is that true?
Yeah, yes, absolutely.
Pretty soon.
Oh, well then,
yeah.
I'm most definitely going to watch that. I've seen Brody play like 50, 60 times in my life, but I want to see it again. It's been a very long time.
That's nice.
Well, if there was ever a testimonial, then that was it, James.
Right.
Thank you so much for calling in.
Yeah,
tonight.
thank you so much for calling in.
And please keep on listening. Thank you so much. Please keep on listening. Call back in.
Happy to reconnect you and Brody.
Yeah, absolutely. And we'll ask Brody about that thing, and we'll get back to you. Okay.
Sounds great.
All right. All
Have a
right.
great
Thank you
show.
so much, James. Thank you so
Thank you,
much.
James.
Oh, well,
That was cute.
that was cute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a good point. I wouldn't have picked up on that yeah, us being the middle person for that interaction. That's
Yeah, you know, honestly, I understand because I've sent several things in the mail over the years, and I would and nobody has responded whether they got it or not, and I'm waiting for them to get on a radio show so that I can call the radio show so that I can
Wow.
find out. This is a cultural thing, I think.
I love that, and I love again if we could be the vehicle for that again, the like
Sure.
the medium.
Yeah.
That's wow.
Chris, do we have any commercials on deck maybe that we can go to and kind of reset? I know that we have some more calls coming in. Everybody is doing such a good job calling us, and man, are we happy about it.
Yeah.
Who's gonna call next? Is it you? Is it you?
I hope so.
Is it you? Is it you? Is it you? Is it you?
It's got to be at least one of them.
It's got to be at least one of them. All right, let's go to a commercial. When we come back, we'll have a whole new call.
Somebody once said, all the really good things in life are either illegal, immoral, or fattening. Well, the Bird's Eye people proudly announce a really good thing. Cool and creamy. It's a new kind of pudding with flavors so rich they're almost sinful. The chocolate is scandalously smooth and chocolatey. And the butterscotch is shamefully thick and butterscotchy. And the vanilla is so vanilla-ish. It's downright wicked. One warning, though. You won't find a new Cool and Creamy in the pudding section of your store. It comes frozen. The Bird's Eye people say it'll keep in your refrigerator ready to eat for 2 weeks. But I wouldn't know about that.
New Cool and Creamy, the world's best pudding.
It's so good, it's almost sinful.
The night Birdie the early bird came to McDonald Land.
Ronald, open that box, please, please, I beg.
Why, inside's a wonderful egg. So they made it a nest, kept it warm through the night. That egg cracked a smile.
What a beautiful sight.
Now, Ronald knew if he brought on the day, that early bird would come out.
Tell McDonald Land's where I'll stay.
It's a good time for the great taste.
You betcha.
of McDonald's.
Hello, I'm Peg Bragan, and I wrote the I Hate to Cook book for people like me who don't think it's a crime to cook easy if you cook good. Bird's Eye must have been thinking the same way when they thought up this special vegetable, carrots with brown sugar glaze. Frankly, I never cared much for carrots till I tasted them like this. Only Bird's Eye does it, and I'm certainly glad they do. I may hate to cook, but I do like to eat.
Mr. Cow.
Yes?
How many licks does it take to get to the Tootsie Roll center of a Tootsie Pop?
I don't know. I always end up biting. Ask Mr. Fox, for he's much cleverer than I.
Mr. Fox, how many licks does it take to get to the Tootsie Roll center of a Tootsie Pop?
Why don't you ask Mr. Turtle, for he's been around a lot longer than I. Me, I bite.
Mr. Turtle, how many licks does it take to get to the Tootsie Roll center of a Tootsie Pop?
I never made it without biting. Ask Mr. Owl, for he is the wisest of us all.
Mr. Owl, how many licks does it take to get to the Tootsie Roll center of a Tootsie Pop?
A good question. Let's find out. 1, 2, 3.
If there's anything I can't stand, it's a smart owl.
How many licks does it take to get to the Tootsie Roll center of a Tootsie Pop? The world may never know.
I should have come back with a Tootsie Pop in my mouth. If I could do anything
God
over
damn
again, it
it.
would have been that. Jesus Christ. Okay. But I don't have a Tootsie Pop in my mouth, but we do have a very special thing that's about to happen, and that's another performance by Brody. Here's Bean on.
Hi. Let me switch the mic here.
Yeah.
All right. We sounded okay? We got thumbs up over there? All right, I like that. All right. Well, I'm back. Good to be here. This is going great. I love it. So I was gonna do a different song, and then I decided I'm gonna do this song because I was like, well, if the theme is birds, I have a song about a bird, and this is about this is probably like 1996 or something. I got a parakeet given to me, and they were just gonna release it, and I was like, no, I'll take it. It was a cool, like it kind of said like a couple things like thanks or whatever like that, and it once I started like letting it out of the cage and let fly around the room, it started to like talk more, and so I was able to like bring I started getting it to say it was Toots is a pretty bird, and then he was just starting to say I love you at the end, and then my roommate's cat, Harley, I think it was, this white fluffy cat. I came home and she had got the bird and found it on the floor, and I was like, and so this song came out around that time. So I was like, hey, there's my bird song. So one, I guess I have another song about birds too. We're not doing that, but here's this one. All right, here we go. When the breeze comes in tonight, make sure to shut your window tight. Brush your teeth and go to bed. Your arms and legs are made of lead. I must be thinking what to do when the cat walks in. Are you sleeping? Close your eyes and dream of me, boiling leaves and making tea. Got back home and my bird was gone. I buried Toots out in the back lawn. The cat that ate my bird was a toothed white cat. He likes to roll in the dirt. Can you see where he's at?
was the 90s.
Yeah, that was from '96. It's on our album. You're Playing with Children in the Land of the Bugs from '97. So
It's so 90s. It reminds me of like I don't know. Yeah, like a Smashing Pumpkins song or something, you know.
I haven't
Something
played that
else
in a
I
long
enjoy.
time until tonight. So that was wild. So yeah, thanks. That more fitting.
That's
for you.
really
Filled
lovely.
my whole heart.
Oh,
Dreams, cats, birds. That's my life. That's all my life is. Nighttime dreams, birds, cats. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Brody, we would love to kind of introduce you to the gang here as part of the gang. You know, you and I have known each other for quite some time. I was thinking maybe we could get in a little bit to like kind of how we met.
yeah.
We met, I think, via some musician friends of ours, and you were working on this like insane conceptual kind of album, but also more than that, right?
Yeah. Here, I got it right here.
Well, there goes that
We've got a lot
interview.
going on.
Yeah.
Also, Brody's like a performer, and now we're interviewing him. There's a lot to manage here.
Yeah.
It's gonna chroma out on this, but
that is the record.
Oh, cool.
So Mountain of Yeses, and so that's just whatever. That's when I met Craig. Then when I was working with some friends, mutual friends, doing this stuff.
And we made this it was this crazy record of this guy going to pilot or to different planets in a Hieronymus Bosch-esque like egg ship. And yeah, it's really a fantastic record. Wonderfully played, so many good musicians on there. A lot of friends and such a good memory. And then, you know, we brought you, I had that thought, and then we came in, and then we caught up, and you had been working on graphics all of these years in between, and we just thought it was a perfect suit. How do you feel being part of the 5 on It Live team?
Well, I'm glad you asked. No, it's really and it's fantastic. I'm new to it all with you, but it's all the things that I love to do.
Yeah,
it is coming all together in one spot. So
it's really,
I love to hear that.
Yeah, I feel like you've really become a big part of it. How about, you know, a big part of our show is the call-ins, and I believe that we have we have a caller on the line, and so why don't we take a call together, Brody? How about that?
Sure.
Great.
Yeah, I would love to have you
You
around.
do, do the honors, Brody. Go ahead and take that caller.
Caller, who be this?
Nice.
Hey, hi, hello. Hey, this is Dwayne from Kansas City.
Hey, you still up?
I am. I was kind of nodding off for a while, and I was keeping myself up by being a wise ass in the chat room on YouTube for a long time. But then I thought that being actually on the line would be a better way to fight insomnia. You know, which in the tradition of Coast to Coast, which I gotta say, 5 on It Live has a similar vibe to. Was staying up late to be on the line.
You're making my day, Dwayne, right?
That's right. Hey, Greg.
And
hey,
so
Mallory, how are you?
Hi. Nice
I'm
to meet
doing
you.
very well. Yeah, it's so nice to meet you. So
Yeah,
you
long
I
time
presume.
fan.
Oh, great. Me too, actually.
Yeah. I wouldn't say of
yours,
the
I mean.
first episode or anything, but earlier in the
Well, it's there for eternity. You can always go back, but we're moving forward, and there will be plenty more for you to enjoy. I promise you that.
Yes.
I presume that you, by what you said, that you have listened to late night call-in talk radio, talk shows. You know, incidentally, Phil Donahue, which was like an icon of talk shows to me
I saw that.
as a kid, he died recently. Is this something that has been a big part of your life?
Yeah, yeah. I used to watch Phil Donahue at my grandma's house when I was a kid, and she would
Didn't
have
we all?
six.
Didn't we all?
Yeah, she had 61 countries on the radio fighting Phil Donahue on the TV, and it was
Oh,
nostalgic.
wow.
It is
Wait,
nostalgic now.
did we ask where you were from?
Yeah, I think I don't know. I think I might have volunteered it, but Kansas City.
Okay, so you're from Kansas City.
There's a lot of Kansas City
Beanard fan.
representation.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
nice.
You know, yeah, Kansas City is a wonderful place, and you know, one of the things that I loved about Kansas City, and I always have, is it's just so wonderfully supportive, you know, of people.
That's right.
Brody, have you felt like that? I mean, it's obviously coming back to you now, but like, you've been a musician in Kansas City a lot. What do you? I mean, Kansas City is really the area in the world that taught me subversive culture. And in an odd way, as much as I felt like it had nothing, like, man, it made me who I am, and I'm knee deep in this stuff, you know. So I don't know. I'm curious how you guys think about this.
About the scene?
About yeah, sure. About
City.
yeah.
We're just a hidden jewel that is recently been unearthed, and you know, maybe hopefully that's a good thing.
Can you say more about the recently been unearthed? Because I mean, it certainly has for me, but I feel like for me, it's because of Craig. 'Cause that's where it came from, and I've met so many people in person, and you know, through the show, that Craig is known from Kansas City, and I grew up in Canada. Kansas City was never on my radar, so I don't know if it's yeah. I mean. Yeah. So I don't know if it was just a me thing, or like, are you saying that like on the like bigger stage that Kansas City is sort of coming into view more?
I don't know. What do you think, bro? Do you think that Kansas City is kind of stepping into the spotlight over the last 5 or 10 years a little bit more? Some of it's like sports related stuff because we've had some success after decades of none. But I think musically, and there's been a lot of you know, like funny people that have, you know, made it big from Kansas City. And
What funny people have made it big? Excuse my ignorance.
Oh, you know, Sudeikis and
oh, I don't know.
Oh, right.
I didn't know that.
Cool. And yeah, and Paul Rudd and
I didn't know
Rob
that they were
Riggle
from Kansas City. Oh, wow.
Eric Stone Street, and yeah, we've had a whole string of like, yeah.
Isn't that guy from Puddle of Mud from Kansas City too? That guy.
Right.
You know, I delivered Godfather's Pizza to them once when I was a kid.
You played it, Godfather's Pizza, with them?
No, I was a Godfather's Pizza delivery boy. One of the best jobs of my life, man. I mean, I just like would pick up my friend. We're rolling 3 deep, smoking joints and eating pizza and delivering it, you know, which was just kind of, it gave us a place to go. Otherwise, we were just driving around aimlessly smoking pot, eating pizza.
Right.
Sound like a Ninja Turtle.
Hey, bro. Yeah. Was it the Godfathers in Mission? Was there ever more than one Godfathers in Kansas City? Actually?
Yeah, ours was in the Northland. For people who for people who don't know the Northland, this isn't any more interesting than you probably assume.
Thank you.
Yeah.
To the 3 of us, it's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a birthday party there one time. So at that place as a kid. Well, I don't think it was mine, but it was like a schoolmate. Schoolmate's party. Pizza
birthday parties were like the thing. How many pizza birthday parties? My favorite was Showbiz Pizza, obviously.
Oh,
yeah.
Because they had the ball pit, which I didn't like because it smelled like children.
Melody, do you know those?
No, I feel like y'all are speaking.
Wait, you don't know Showbiz Pizza?
No, I don't know anything you're talking about.
It's Chuck E. Cheese. It's Chuck E. Cheese.
Okay, thank you, Dwayne.
Oh, Chuck E. Cheese is lame compared to that.
Different. Yeah.
Okay, but thank you. I needed a realm. I needed like a realm.
Yeah,
but it had animatronic characters, and I had a 45 of them, and I forget what the name of the band, Rock and Roll Explosion or some, I don't know, some
Rock Explosion or something like that.
And but it had like a gorilla kind of a main guy and a like a cheerleader mouse with like a pom
Yeah,
poms and
Mitzi,
like
Billy Bob. I know him.
yeah, Billy Bob, yeah,
Billy
and
Bob was the comedian, right? Or no, Chuck E. Cheese was the comedian.
I think,
Right.
but
Billy
they're
Bob was
different
the
places.
bear,
They are
Yeah, the
and
different
Mitzi
bear.
was the
places.
mouse cheerleader.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
and
Oh,
they
she
had the
was the
one
hot
song.
cheerleader.
It was like blow out the candles. Like I just
It's
remember it was
basically
sung
like
by that
real life
gorilla dude.
Five Nights at Freddy's.
I was just gonna say
Yeah, it
this
was.
sounds like Five Nights at Freddy's. Yes, yes.
Yeah,
This
it
Yeah, I
was.
think
really
it
is
was
like giving me
inspired
Five
by
Nights
it.
at Freddy's
It
vibes.
was magical. It was
Yeah.
magical.
It really
Like
was.
an
And
arcade
terrifying.
was a theater
Yeah,
area where the curtains
was
would,
Yeah.
and you'd go over and like look under the curtains to see them just sitting there, no lights on them, and be like, oh wow, like
Yeah. Oh, wow.
wow.
Oh,
come
my
alive.
gosh.
Only
I do
only
remember that.
occasionally. Yeah. Only now and then would an employee have to come out with a fire extinguisher and put them out.
Only occasionally. Okay.
Okay, so
Wait, is this specific to Kansas City, like, or is it
no,
like an
no, no, no.
American thing?
I
It was
think
a
it was kind of
1980s thing.
Midwestern.
Okay,
Yeah.
or Midway.
Yeah,
Okay,
I think
okay,
I think
okay,
it was kind of regional. I
okay.
think it was like one of those Hellman's mayonnaise America's Best thing where it was Chuck E. Cheese on one side of the Mississippi and
Okay.
like
Oh,
There was
yeah.
I
a
didn't realize
bar
that.
recently over in Martini Corner that got those, and they installed them for like the place was open like a year, and I totally missed it.
Yeah, they got a
But they
full
had them
set
back,
and
and they could play other songs and stuff like modern songs.
Cool.
And I was like, man, that's
Weird. Okay,
yeah,
so
yeah,
here's
those
a
are
robots.
kids.
question, and I kind of remember maybe this happening to me, unless I'm inventing this memory. But was there a moment where you found out? Do you remember finding out that the animatronics weren't real, or were you already old enough
Oh.
when you went in for the first time?
I just found that out right now, man.
Oh, Craig,
Oh fuck!
rude,
Damn.
True.
destroying the magic.
Hey, and Santa Claus isn't real either,
I-
by the way.
Brody.
Or the
Come
Easter
on.
Eat Bunny and the Tooth Fairy. Sorry, let's just get it all
Oh,
out of the
Okay,
Just
way.
get it all out
okay,
there. Here,
okay,
what else?
okay. How about
August
how about
25th,
all
the
of
day
the
that Magic
above?
died.
I want to hear from you guys, from everybody. When was the moment that you remember finding out that Santa Claus wasn't real or that Easter Bunny wasn't real? Do you remember the first time that somebody told you that you disagreed with the notion and then your heart was broken, or how did this suspension of disbelief fall?
I never believed in Santa Claus.
Okay.
It was wild to me when because it was like a different kind of finding out when it
Mhm.
became like 8, 9, 10 when my friends started finding out, and then that's when I found out my friends were dummies. So I was
You're like, no kidding,
wait,
bitch.
I thought we were all just like, I mean, I love Christmas. I loved it, but I was like, of course it's not real. But for me, it was delightful that for a few months we were all just like pretending together. And so once
Oh.
like my friends started finding out Santa wasn't real and like were devastated, I was like, oh, what? I thought that
Wow.
we all knew it wasn't, and we were all just agreeing to play along together. So
Right.
yeah.
What about you guys? Santa Claus or the showbiz animatronics? Was there a moment where you realized, or somebody like the reason why I bring this up is because you mentioned looking behind the curtain.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
that's really identifiable because whoa, I totally remember that moment where my friends were like, "No, look at it," and it was like, "Oh my god, dead? No, they're not dead. They're
I needed
robots."
to reassure myself that they were robots, and that if they walked off stage, I'd be like, "That's fucking weird," But and then as far as I got my Santa Claus wasn't real news around Easter, so it wasn't like a blow like during Christmas. You're like, what?
Okay.
What the
Right.
fuck? Like, so it was more that this shithead that I knew decided to let me know about it, and I was like, no. But it was talking about Easter Bunny, and I just didn't really. That one was pretty not plausible
Yeah, the
anyway.
Easter Bunny is really not believable.
Yeah, I was like
Right?
Easter hay and all this weird
Yeah.
shit. But I was like, I didn't believe it, and he's like, go into the kitchen, open up the cupboard, and there was all the chocolate and shit there. And I was like, oh, okay. So I ran in there and what? Like, can't believe it. And then it all came crumbling down, all the other ones too. And it wasn't like devastating, but it was, but it's, just to chime in, one extra thought is that when you have kids, it's kind of like wondering, like, how do you want to treat that with them? Like,
So how are you treating it with your kids?
well, I think now, my kid knows that we're just that we're playing along with this stuff by now. So I don't think there was that particular blow that I know about yet. But maybe she'll let me know, in the future, like that was a thing. But
That she's devastated that you were lying to her.
yeah, and I just remember my niece was, when we told her we were playing like a card game or something like that with my folks with her, and she was a bit younger, and she was like, like, what? Santa Claus isn't real. And I was like, hey, and then I got something else to tell, to let you know about. I was like, who else isn't real? She's like, what? I was like, Jesus. and she was, everybody laughed, and it's just whatever. Anyway, but yeah,
I like
weird.
that strategy.
It's weird to know what, how to do it, because it's like, I don't know. I kind of left it in her mom's kind of, be like, how do you want to play it? You want to do that? And like, yeah, let's do it. So yes, let's lie to your kid. Let's lie to the kids. Great. Like,
let's just lie to the kids.
Yeah, it's just I think it's your first time to, like, you realize when it really does set in that, like, oh shit, I've been lying. I've been lied to this whole time. And it's like, what else is there? This was so magical.
Yeah, it doesn't set a very good precedent, really.
Yeah, so it's tricky, but I think I managed to go down the same route.
Dwayne, what are your experiences with that?
Oh, I don't. I was pretty much raised by wolves. I don't think anybody ever bothered to tell me that Santa Claus is real.
Interesting. There's no like wolf Santa Claus.
Yeah, I don't think so. I was in my youngest days were in the town of Harrisonville, which is like the Kansas City of Kansas City. It's Harrisonville is to Kansas City what Kansas City is to like New York or something. And
okay, that makes a little bit more sense.
Yeah, that paints a picture.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, I was like Mowgli, I think, like just and yeah, I don't recall ever thinking that. I don't recall being disillusioned by that because I don't remember being illusioned.
But Chuck
by
E.
it.
Cheese, that really got you tripped up. That one.
Well, yeah, right. But yeah, I find out that Billy Bob and Mitzi aren't real.
Little cat paw.
Yeah, I think that my parents they at one point, and I get why my dad would do this, because it's funny, but they had my neighbor, and by the way, it's not like we were like Mr. Christmas family, you know what I mean, on the block, but the
Mr. Christmas family
Mr.
on every
Christmas
block.
family, yeah, of course, we weren't that.
You weren't Candy Cane Lane.
There
we
you
weren't
go.
Candy Cane
That's
Lane,
better,
right.
Dwayne. Thank you.
And my dad had one of our neighbors, I think, like break into the house as Santa Claus and stuff, and wake me up, and it was like, oh my God, there's somebody in the house, and like got
that's
me up, and I was
horrifying.
terrified.
Yeah.
And then there was Santa Claus dropping presents off, and then I was like, wait a second, maybe this whole fucking thing is real. And so then I went to school, and I was like, yeah, I thought it was bullshit too, but I saw Santa Claus. And they're like, that's impossible, man. And so my parents actually made me out to be a complete buffoon.
You're like little Michael.
Wow.
You're like, guys, you gotta believe me.
I don't actually think. I think they were having. It was all in good fun, but
Oh,
also,
of course, no, for sure. But I think I'm picking up because this is interesting. I mean, I don't know much about you, Dwayne, but your answer there when you said you were raised by wolves, you sounded. I don't want to put this on you. You sounded maybe a little disappointed that you weren't really given the lie, and I think there's something for me that I've I love Christmas and Christmas time because it was one of the times where I appreciated the effort that my parents put into the facade of this, the illusion that it was like one of the few times I felt like they were really caring and parenting. So I think that's also why I like it. Yeah, I didn't believe it. I was just like, wow, I love this time where my parents are trying really hard to do a thing for the family. That's so nice. You know?
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah. Do you feel like you missed out on
Yeah.
that, Dwayne?
No, I don't know.
No?
I mean, I
Yeah.
kind of, I mean, Christmas is still a lot of fun for a kid, regardless of whatever, you know.
Yeah.
It
is.
kind of took a village for me, and so, but the upside of that is that you have like several households worth of Christmas every year, you know. So.
Oh, well, that's nice.
Yeah,
That's
and then my kids
different
they
flavors.
kind of, yeah, exactly. And then I don't know, my kids didn't really ever believe it at all. They kind of called us out on it, like as soon as they were old enough to talk or think about it.
Oh,
And
really?
we were like,
Interesting.
yeah, and we were just like, well, you know, it's just, you know, it's just part of the shtick, kind of to act like there is one. So you know, just have fun.
Humans are so
I guess kind of like what
fucking
you were
weird.
saying, you know.
Yeah, I guess they deserve the like children deserve fantasy or something, right?
Right. Like even if they know that it's fantasy early, like Mallory was saying, or like my kids, then it's still, yeah, it's still nice for them to have the opportunity to play along, you know.
Yeah, I think that's something I've heard from parents who have like who have like multiple children and how to deal with it when like the older child finds out that, you know, bringing them in on the magic of it. And that's something I appreciate, you know. I think we should lean into magic and wonder. And again, I still am baffled that anybody could really believe in the thing, and I do believe in magic, so I don't know. It's just nice to
Well,
all
it's almost
participate in fantasy sometimes.
sure. I mean, I think to them it was always almost more like, you know, if you go to a ball game and there's a mascot, you know, then they don't think that mascot's real, but they think that it's kind of part of the game, you know, and
Right.
it's all a
Part
lot
of
of
the
fun.
game.
So it works.
Yeah. Part of the game.
Yeah.
I like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Especially when they bring gifts.
Yes. Well,
yeah, that makes it even better. Mascots don't do that. Unless they have a t-shirt gun.
Yeah.
Yeah, but who wants a t-shirt gun? I think t-shirt gun
I
is
kinda
like
want a t-shirt
today's like lump of coal.
Wait, I want a t-shirt gun.
You want a t-shirt gun or you want a
Well-
t-shirt shot from a gun?
Both.
Yeah, I
One
guess
and
they
the
could
other.
be pretty cool.
This doesn't, you know, I think that the bird theme hasn't been hit very well tonight. Did
Okay,
you guys know
hit
that
it.
Brody makes some, you know that Brody makes some really, really good hot sauce? Like, it's so good that if you have a frozen burrito or something that you're putting in an air fryer, you shake a little bit of this hot sauce on it, and then it becomes like gourmet food truck fare. Like, it becomes like somebody will bust in your house and write an article about what you're cooking because that's how much it dresses up whatever Costco shrimp you're throwing in the
Okay, so
microwave.
Brody truly is a Swiss Army knife of a person. The more I learn about him, I'm like endless talent.
No.
Did not know
Here's
this.
how much of a here's how much of a Swiss Army knife. This one little aspect of his Swiss Army-ishness, the hot sauce. It's not just that he makes hot sauce; it's also that he grows the peppers with like this hydroponic outdoor contraption that he built, and then like distills the peppers down into the hot sauce, and then bottles it and designed the label and everything. And it's also really good.
Oh my God. Well, thank you, Dwayne, for telling me that, because I don't know when Brody was going to tell me that. So now I'm going to pressure him to send me some hot sauce because I love hot sauce. Wait, what does that have to do with birds, though? Does that have
It's really good on poultry.
Oh, great. Oh, yeah, right. On chicken wings. Yeah, chicken wings. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
We haven't talked about birds in that way yet. That's why my brain didn't go there. But yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Have you?
Yeah.
Amazing. Well, Dwayne.
Dwayne, thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much for calling.
Heck yeah. Thanks for having me.
I hope you've enjoyed the show, especially being one that is familiar with, the late night call-in arts. I would love to hear from you again. I would
Yeah, it was
love
really
for you
nice talking
to
to
keep
you.
listening.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Keep on doing it. I'm a new fan. I'm a new addict. I'm going to be back every Saturday from now on.
Great. We'll be here every Saturday.
Yeah.
Every
This
Saturday from
spectacular
midnight
show.
across America. And Chris, if
Yeah.
you want
Okay.
to throw that phone number down there as we're letting Dwayne go, Dwayne, auf Wiedersehen. Can't wait to see you again.
Mm-hmm.
We have a phone number. I think we have lines open. 712345664 or 7123455 on it. 7123455 on it. That's the jingle. The jingle's coming soon. We've got some wonderful things together. Oh, look.
What's
Look,
that?
we've got a little
Who dat?
creep. Did we get a new friend? Oh. Oh, is
huh?
this Play
Hi,
Joe?
Play Joe.
Yes. So I'm feeling great. I'm feeling really great to see you, Play Joe. I don't know. I forgot to kind of mention this. Play Joe was actually, I think, this person.
I don't know. Chris had mentioned something that he was developing some kind of support AI glitchy. I don't know. Is this what?
Yeah. Is this
it?
This is you, Play Joe?
This is Play Joe.
Okay.
Okay.
Hi.
Cool.
Hi.
So is that you jamming on top of the nightly?
That was me. I cut in.
Oh,
I hacked in.
Okay. I see
I
the
hacked
effects
in.
that we're going for here. Yeah, this is phenomenal.
I finally broke through your firewall, and it's good. It took a while, but I got it. Fuck you, Norton. You ad block. I got you. Fuck you up. All right.
Well, yeah, this is a fantastic surprise. What did you think of the show, Play Joe?
Yeah.
That's what I thought about it. I thought that was rad.
Hell yeah.
Cool. Where'd you guys come from? I mean, wow. Great. It's great to see you for real.
Where did you come from?
Well, from your imagination.
That checks out.
I'm your new AI guy.
That checks out. Oh man, Mallory, that was surety right there.
It checks out. My imagination is a wild guy, and so is Play Joe.
Well, it's finally come to life. And Play Joe, we're so happy to have you on board. It's nice to get a little bit of a glimpse of you, and I'm sure that we'll meet again. I wouldn't say goodbye. Merely,
I don't think really have control. Just I think I don't know how much control we have over Play Joe.
That's right.
You're right. I guess I don't.
Ready.
He's still in. Is he still?
Yeah.
Is it? Yeah.
I don't know if I'm just hearing him in my ears or if everybody's hering Play Joe.
I don't know. If you hear it at home,
either.
I hope that you enjoyed it. Chris, my mind is racing so quickly. I hope that we have maybe another cartoon that we can go to. So that's generally the cue that you have something ready, and I really appreciate it. In the meantime, while we're away at this little cartoon, please call us. We've got a little bit of time left, and we'd love to fill our lines with you and only you. But first, this cartoon. Well, I think that was closer to the what we're doing. You know, like you all know at home, we're doing this and we're building this right before you and right before us. And I hope that you're enjoying it. I hope that you're enjoying our thoughts, our conversations. Mallory, I
Are you asking if, or you're hoping that they are enjoying me, or are you
well,
asking
I
me to
just
say
wanted to include you in on the conversation,
thanks?
and it was kind of my segue to go to a two
No,
shot.
well, I hope they're enjoying me too, and I hope they're enjoying you. Love to see Play Joe again.
Yeah, yeah. So there's our little Paul Schaefer bug, Play Joe. I hope that well, I don't want to let too much out of the bag, but
Yeah.
we have a lot planned, and tonight was our first night back, and it was a big night, and we put a lot of things to the test. Did we mention that our producer Chris has COVID?
Yeah,
And
I was gonna think. I'm glad you said it. Wait, is that okay that we said that, Chris? You can tell me in my ears. It's in support of you because you're
yeah,
killing it and you have COVID, and I hope that's
yeah,
yeah. I just yeah.
yeah. I mean, we've all put so much work in, and as we mentioned, we're so thankful to have Brody on board, and how he's helped make this as well. And Chris has really been the backbone of this production since the beginning, and he really showed up this week. We had it on the schedule, things happen, and we were like, we can push it another week. And
Yeah.
Chris was like,
Needs to know
no way.
we would not make anybody
Yeah,
work
yeah,
through
yeah, 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 yeah.
COVID. That is not the
And
kind of team we have here, and we all love it so much and care so much that yeah, he was like, "Fuck yeah, I'm doing it."
yeah, I'm taking some soup and
Yeah.
and
We all
and
had
I'm
soup
showing
today.
up. Yeah, yeah. So here we are. Do we, Chris? Just say in my ear, we don't have another call on the line, do we?
I don't think we do.
Okay.
But that's okay. This has been a jam-packed episode.
Yep.
And should we I don't know, we did some breathing earlier, but maybe we could just check in with each other again. How you doing, Craig? How has this felt?
Oh yeah, it's felt really good.
Yeah.
But maybe I could do some more breathing.
Okay. Well, we could do that again.
It's hard to do something new again.
It is. That's well said. Can you say
Right?
more? Yeah. Can you explain what you mean a bit more?
To like do something new and feel pretty okay about it, and feel like you've got this vision or whatever, and then you go through and you realize, okay, I want to kind of hone this idea, and then it feels like you're starting from scratch almost.
Mhm.
And today, as we were coming into the show, it really felt to me like It was our very first time.
Yeah, I
Very
had
first
the
time.
same like body energy anxiety as I did for our first episode,
Uh-huh.
but like I think more intense because I'm, it got bigger and more ambitious, and also, I'm on my own here, so yeah, today I really did, coming into the show today, have like a
It was different.
yeah, it was different. It was different.
It was different.
Mhm.
And yeah, it's weird to bring in that energy and be kind of even conscious of it in front of everybody. Oh wait, I
But
actually we do. Okay, please go ahead.
sorry, I want to wrap
Yeah,
up that
yeah,
because
please.
I do think we have another caller, but I just because if we're trying to be slow entertainment and mindful together.
Yeah, I would too.
Yeah. Now I forget what I was gonna say, but we're breathing. we're breathing through it. I totally forget what I was gonna say. That's how present and mindful I am.
Fantastic. Sounds like we're in a perfect state of mind to
For
take
another caller.
another call. And caller, you're on the line. Go right ahead, caller.
Hello, caller?
Hello, caller. Are you there?
Oh, hello.
Hello.
Oh, hello.
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 It's
Who is this?
this is Monica.
Oh,
Monica.
For those of you who
okay.
haven't listened to all the past episodes, Monica has called in before. Monica, welcome back to the show. Thank you so much for calling.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for having me, Craig. I wish you could see my face. It's really a miss.
Oh, wow.
I have a special guest.
I'm actually wondering because I think I left one of my bone clips at the bottom of your pool last time I was with you.
What?
Who is this?
Bone clip. That's your clue.
I left one of my bones in your pool. I'm just praying you skimmed it and you brought it back with you from the City Angels, man.
Bones in a pool.
Okay, just one guess. Come on, throw a guess out there.
Jesus, this is fun because that accent, I just can't think of anybody that I know that has that accent.
Well,
in
it seems like
truth,
it was put on.
Who?
Yes.
Who?
Getting warmer.
I said who?
There's one thing I love doing. It's putting something on in the morning.
Yeah, that's not a real accent.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that's acting, Craig. That's acting.
Imagine saying someone's hat ain't real. It's a hat. You put it on to look a certain way, right?
You do always have a hat.
Come on.
Well, this person sounds like a genius. Monica, is this this is your life?
Monica, will you introduce us to your special guest,
to
please?
play a game. We're here to play a game. I told you,
Oh.
one guess. Give me.
Okay, the show has taken a
I
turn.
guess this is your show now, Monica.
Yes,
Who's
let's
your
do it.
special guest?
Well, I mean,
No,
Did
I
you
would
hear
like to
that?
know.
No.
I would like to know
No.
who this. Okay, I'm gonna take a guess.
yes, thank you. God.
God.
It's not Eddie Vedder.
Oh, yeah, no. But I was seeing a small person in a small town
That
earlier.
guess mad out of pocket, man. What
Oh,
you guessing
yeah,
on?
what is that? Eddie Vedder song? I don't
John Mellencamp.
know.
John
That time he
Cougar
climbed the top of the
Mellencamp.
scaffolding
You're hanging
to
out
get
with
his
John
Mac
Cougar
back.
Mellencamp. Huh?
He got his Mac back off the scaffolding.
Wait,
Remember,
give
he
me
climbed
a-
all the way up.
He's kind of a phone hog, actually.
Right.
If you don't want to guess now, you can guess later. Do you want to talk about something?
Ask us
Yeah.
questions,
Do
man.
you
I
want
want
to
be
talk about
inspired
something?
Ask us questions. Inquire about
We've
it.
actually been sitting here on the patio for like a solid hour talking amongst ourselves, waiting
Wait
to try
a
to talk
second.
to you.
Wait
Can we
a
know who
second.
the
I kept
special
Wait a
calling
guest
second.
you.
I know who it is. I know
feel
who it is.
Okay,
I
so
know who
tell
it is.
us,
Oh
Craig.
my God. Oh my.
Oh my God.
It's Ashley.
Mother, Jesus, and Mary,
Mallory.
and whatever.
It's Ashley,
Mallory.
who left a
This is
bone clip.
Ashley.
Oh, yeah,
Who
yeah, yeah.
left a bone clip in our
Bingo, bingo,
pool?
In our
baby.
pool, in the
In our
pool.
pool.
Oh, I could have
A
guessed too.
bone.
Exactly. Yeah. Okay.
Oh,
So
I thought this was just about you, Craig. Yeah. Wow.
yes. So okay, Ashley.
this
For
Ashley?
everybody at
Oh,
home,
thank
yes,
you.
Ashley is a beautiful genius
Beautiful human.
musician,
Artist.
artist, and we Mallory and I, we were lucky enough when we were
Wow.
recording in Hollywood together. We were lucky enough to see a ASMR exhibit. Can you remind me of the title of it, Ashley?
Neonate.
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 I'm
correct.
so happy that it's Ashley. Hey,
Yeah.
Ashley.
Hey, I'm so
Thanks
happy
for
to
being
be here.
Wow.
Thanks for that beautiful water and view. The water plus view combo was crazy delicious. Like, thank you for that.
Yeah, we
I'm
had a
starting
real
with
Made it.
magical
You
moment
made it
there.
better. You made it
Mhm.
better. So
Mhm.
yeah.
And so yeah. Oh, and now that I know who I'm talking to, what are you guys doing up
Yeah.
at
What have you been gabbing
what
We're
is
talking
it,
about
2:50
parenting, of course.
in
What do you
the
think
in the
we're
Central
talking
Time
about?
Zone?
We're talking about the psychic tribulations that come with like parenting, pretty much. That's what we've been talking about,
Yeah, as of
And
recently.
which we're definitely not going to talk about right now.
But
because
it started with Ashley asking me why I think relationships are for the birds.
yes, that was the core question. Yeah.
But I
Love
hadn't
that.
full circled yet, and it was probably about 45 minutes
so why do you think
halfway.
that relationships are for
Relationships
the
are for the
birds?
birds. Yeah.
You know, I really wish I got a full circle. Where was I leaving off?
I remember your answer, by the way.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I
Ashley,
mean, you kind of
well,
answered
maybe
it for me.
I'm
I
curious.
didn't even have
I'll
to.
summarize. I can summarize. Okay,
Yeah,
Monica's
please.
answer was, if you don't mind me summarizing, I'll cliff note
Yeah.
your answer.
Yeah, go ahead,
Okay.
baby.
See my accuracy. Rate my
Okay,
accuracy.
okay,
yeah.
all right.
You
How
can rate
low are
it
you
as 0.
listening?
Like, yeah, totally. Okay, so pretty much what she was saying is
Wrong. Just kidding.
Linguistically, we actually are causing a certain type of like entrapment by using language as a way to organize reality and organize our sense of selves. And so at some point in time, you have to let the language itself go of identity and relationship in order to actually encounter the world directly. And so you have to actually have to like,
Okay, that was the spin-off conversation of the beginning conversation of like probably like a 10-part conversation, but it ultimately started with peace, right? Like
I forgot. I just remember the ending.
desiring. It's like desiring less, right? Not wanting for anything, not having the desire.
Get out there, kids, and want nothing.
You know, anything, sex, relationship, companionship. You know, yeah, and then you answered the question by saying that you have very productive moments and peace when you're experiencing times without those things, when you're experiencing times where
disciplined isolation,
where you don't have desire. And for you, it's disciplined isolation. For me, I just feel like I finally got to a place where I just like don't fuck about want. I just literally
just don't want.
When that bucket hits
and
the
then
system, it's crazy.
And then experiencing that, it was ultimate peace. And so now, and I joke about it and I make light about it, and by saying like relationships are bullshit or whatever, like it's a waste of time. But really, it's about your energy, what you put your energy into, how you maintain your personal space. Like, what do we do it for? So we have a witness. So we,
perceived as what a luxury.
So we have a witness. So we have someone to watch us.
Watch me. Watch
all
me
these billions of people. Like actually nothing matters. So there's this one person that's committed to letting you know that you matter.
Can I help us like focus in on here, because you're like saying a lot of things that are very interesting,
I know,
and I
like,
want to
like a whole yes.
No, this is great. I love that you're bringing up relationship and stuff, and because relationship can mean so many things, and it sounds like you're.
Yeah.
I'm hearing it with like desire, and like I'm curious. Like I want to get more into that. What you mean by desire? What you mean about? Okay, so so we're talking about like romantic attachment.
Your live-in companionship. Let's plan meals together.
Okay.
Like, what are we doing today, tomorrow for Thanksgiving? Like when we don't do those things, we give ourselves more space and time to develop. And when we
private curiosities.
when
are
you
tend
do that,
to arise,
like
yeah.
you just increase your like your own superpowers. So you become more powerful if you're giving your energy to yourself.
Yeah, but do you not think that it's also a growth spurt to be spending a Thanksgiving with somebody, right? Like just the same as giving yourself space to kind of absorb yourself and learn from that and come out of that differently. Also, I've learned just as much, and I feel weird ever putting something on a value scale, like it was better or less, but it's certainly different what I learned from being in a relationship and fulfilling in a different way. And
If I may, I don't want to put words in y'all's mouths, but I think I maybe picking up on what you're saying, that there can be a freedom in sort of challenging and checking out of the sort of compulsory aspect, like culturally, of like romantic relationships, especially, and like
100%.
the
Yes.
expectation that we need to find
100%.
that one person to do the things with, because like that's not true. So is that what y'all are talking about? That it's like it's not like throwing out relationships writ large, but like maybe letting yourself
No, I
challenge
think that has
the
a huge
that
thing to do
pressure
with it.
to have it look a certain way, and like fit in within a certain script or structure,
Yeah.
right?
And that's a structural bias of the language itself. Like literally,
Yeah.
like American
Yeah.
English is made a certain type of bias built into it.
Totally.
And that's all inherited subconsciously. So you have to consciously reject, like cast it out. Like you have to fucking draw the salt circle on the floor. And
Yeah,
cast it out.
boundary space.
Boundaries.
That's a lot of energy in itself just to maintain that, I think, too. But
all it takes is a little salt on the floor, and we're back to good.
Yeah.
A little salt on
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's also like putting myself in a position where I'm just like hearing two voices on the phone and speaking the words that you guys are speaking in the way that you're speaking them to each other. It's worth pointing out the irony of the statement that you're making while you're obviously so entangled in some sort of fulfilling relationship. Like what is there more than sitting on a porch pontificating with somebody, that like that is the essence. And what better, what more of a peak of any relationship is there than those moments where you're getting far out with each other, right?
Yes,
How
absolutely.
How
But
far out?
when do we have
All
these
the way far.
opportunities? When do we give ourselves these opportunities? Like
When indeed?
you
That's why
know,
we work so hard for
so
little moments of freedom. Yeah.
yeah. So when do we give other people opportunities too? If we're giving a lot of our energy, or a more, let's just say a larger percentage of energy to one human than others, like, and you only have so much percentage of energy to go around for all the things, like how much opportunity do you have to make new relationships and have special moments with special humans
Yeah.
of all varieties
Mhm.
on the front porch, and set it at a more regular variety, and the things that you learn and gain from a larger variety of human interaction on that level, I think there's also just a lot of value in that too.
So
Thank you for
Yeah.
extending me the opportunity to sit on the porch with you, by the way. So
Aw.
kind of you and generous.
I'm just
So flowered
I'm
up
so
this
happy
evening.
this worked out this way.
That's nice.
It was meant
So
to be.
here's
It
something
was
that I
meant to
think
be.
is really you know that I've been struggling with maybe my whole life about relationships.
Also, can I tell the audience that Craig is a hopeless romantic? This man has so much love to give,
Yeah,
and
yeah, I do.
and love, and is it such a like hopeless romantic? It blows me away, and always has, that you continuously try and you don't shy away from falling in love. And I think it is a wonderful attribute, character, whatever part of your soul that you you love to love, and I think that's incredible. I
Okay,
really do.
so
It's
this is
dumbfounding to
actually
me. I don't get it, but I love it about you.
Yes, thanks, buddy.
this is
Thank you.
actually perfect, and this is a perfect setup because something that felt quite complicated about is, to me, love is a creation. Like, it really is. It's something that you have to, like, give fuel and drive towards and build like you would build any other type of thing that you're building.
It's
You
an
have
activity. It's
it's
an
an
activity.
activity. You
Oh,
have to
I
dive
have.
in and you have to get far out. Getting far
Mhm.
out isn't easy, by the way.
Mhm.
Like, you have to
I
you
haven't.
not when it's real. So wait, just because I'm curious as to what you have to say about this. So my conflict is this like motivation and ambition that I have to create for myself, right? Or create for the world, or
Uh huh.
create generally, right?
Uh huh. Yeah.
Sometimes when I'm caught up in this love vibe, I feel like I don't have, like, if there's a muscle that makes work, that makes art, that makes something, you know what I mean?
Uh
It's
huh.
that
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
same muscle is what I feel like I'm utilizing to create love or interest or like passion in my life. And
Ooh.
and so it feels like I'm giving up one or the other because I can only use that muscle for one.
Uh huh.
I would
Yeah.
immediately say
Okay.
maybe like uh the you should, I don't know, maybe there's possibility to find a relationship where, or relationships where you can have those things together.
Yeah, I mean
Okay.
that's the
So
ideal, but I mean it's like an internal struggle that I feel
Right.
like
Heard, yeah.
I don't want. I feel disinterested in making
can
something else
I get
when I
that.
have so much interest in creating a romance or
A
something.
romance, yeah.
because art is, the best art is just creating your life, right? And
Oh.
for you, some of that creation, I mean, like when your life is your
I would say
artwork.
the best art
Your life
saves
is
your life. I
your
would say the
artwork.
best art saves your life. I would say some of it's like making your life that is good, but to me, like in those moments where I realized I have actually made it to the other side of death itself because of something that was I had cultivated to become like an involuntary muscle memory reflex, where they're like it's literally like a living part of my cellular subconscious at this point, and when it functions as a survival mechanism, that shit is crazy to me. So that's kind of my personal favorite. I of course like creation and new.
Okay. Life is your own masterpiece, but what about reframing love? Like,
Yeah.
so love isn't something, and this is something that I've been reading about recently, and it's like it's not something that you could give. It's not something you could take. It's not like this thing. It you just are. You are love, and that's been a thing that I've been saying to people lately, especially my brother, because he can be a hater, and I'm like, are you being in love right now, brother? Because like, are you love? Like, and maybe you're just it. It's not something. It's not a currency. We don't give it away and take it. Like, that's not what love is. Like, it's not. It's not a. It's not a give and take. It is a
So do you
thing that
find any
exists. It
do you
exists.
find
It is
any
you.
conflict with this love motivation and a relationship? Are those things tied?
A conflict with what? Can you say that
Well,
again?
your original kind of uh, thought, right,
Yeah,
was
yeah.
regarding relationships and how they're for the birds and whatever,
Oh, yeah,
you know,
yeah.
all of those complexities. I'm saying, is
Yeah.
it possible to love, and that isn't necessarily connected to this thing that you were referring to as relationships or
Oh, 100%. I do
Yeah.
not think that love and relationships is the same thing. Relationships are for the birds. I think that we spend way too much time trying to figure out what we're having for fucking dinner and like not enough time on our own circadian rhythm. Like we're not all ready to eat at the same time. We're
Oh,
not all
Monica,
feeling
you're
creative at the
speaking my
same
fucking
time.
language right now.
You can't eat, man. You can't eat McDonald's every day.
And that's what I'm talking about, being loved. Like, I can love you, and I do love you, and I don't love very differently. Like I see all of you fucking fucked up creatures and myself in the same light. Like we're all doing something wrong. We're all fucked up in our own way. We're all, you know, trying to understand love and what it means, make space, whatever. Like we're all doing the same shit. Like I love you guys. Definitely we have connections that are deeper with certain souls for sure. But as far as love goes, you know, like, yeah, I can love you and still probably want to fucking curb kick you. Like, you know, like I can love you and want to fuck you or not fuck you. You know, like I can, just because I love you doesn't mean that one thing or another. Like love is just is. And I think that it's separate from relationships 100%. And
Okay, can I talk about something very specific now, which is that there is a dark side of this because love actually can be expressed, like you're saying, both inside the structure of the relationship and outside of it, right? Like because it's water, it can take the shape of any vessel. So like any level of like attention or awareness or dimensionality that we're in, we can like be love, like you're saying, you can be love in any of those dimensions because humans are so fluid in terms of where we exist, especially because of the imagination and intention. We can really apply that being. We can put our being in a lot of different places. We can put our love in a lot of different situations, right? But so that's the peril of maybe it being able to manifest through something like linguistic and structural, like sort of like romantic relationship as a sort of like mythological modality and like a linguistic structure that we inherit from the culture and the nature of the language itself, the systemic bias of the language itself. And love does manifest through that language. It actually is authentically expressed in that way. But then there's always a dark side to this, is if we think that's the only place that we can get love, then we will do all sorts of other crazy, horrific shit to stay connected to it because we all need to feel connected to love. But sometimes the mythology will say, this is the only love source. This one place, the only place you're going to get sexual.
Yeah, I think that's exactly. I think
Yeah.
Ashley and Monica, I
Yeah.
think that's why it's so interesting, Monica, to hear you say like this, talk about love that way, and then that's why I fuck relationship. Because for me, I think I've done sort of the opposite of sort of like challenging and unlearning what relationship means to like flatten, democratize that like I'm in relation, anybody that I talk to, my friends, family, anybody that who knows me, I'm in relationship with them. I'm in relationship with the two of you now because we're talking.
Absolutely.
And so I think that's
Literally,
what where I sort of I've shifted in my brain to rethink relationship, that to like take the romantic power out of it, you know, and that like friendships are relationships, of pets are relationships, you know, like if you're
Indeed.
talking to someone, you are in relationship. And I think that sounds similar to how you're talking about love, that it's sort of taking the hierarchy out of the cultural sort of like romantic relationship, your partner, that's tops and that's all that matters, and you know, just like blowing that shit up, and like I think we should cherish everybody we come into contact with.
Yeah.
Right.
We all have a relation to one another.
Yeah, and I
you
think
know,
that's where it's a relation. It's
obviously.
and I think it's like really important to hold, like, respect that like we do impact everyone around us always, and we should be mindful
And
of
we
that.
should be loving
Exactly. And not just if they're our like parent or our partner, like you know, that like those
Indeed.
are the
love
only
should
people
be
that
more
we should be.
accessible language.
Exactly.
It's
Yeah.
not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and that couples with a very, and I'm using this pun intended when I say that's couples, with the other sort of like core concern that you were bringing up, which is it's also like, because of our mythology, access to like sexual relationship is coupled with structural romantic mythology language,
Absolutely.
right? And so it also means that people are like, if you, in order to get that that facet of love, because sexuality is also an expression of love that's actually independent of any sort of mythologization or like all of those cultural structures, is like we have a like sexual like pleasure system and love languages that just exist in that space on their own, and they don't need translation. They don't need, you can encounter
You
them
don't need to
directly.
go through the love. You don't need to go
Exactly.
through the like
You want to get rid of the
monogamous
words in this way.
partnership to get that thing. And I
Right.
think that's what you're saying, is that like, yeah, we are set up to think to like get, pleasure sexually or emotionally, or even like, I don't know,
Right.
just there's so many ways of expressing love with each other, but we're sort of told that like to get sexual or physical intimacy that we have to go through this route of romantic love necessarily. And that's so limiting for so many people.
Right, and for some other people, it's satisfying. So it's so crazy,
For sure,
Like
yeah.
that part is like you like also can't demonize it too much because some people that's their actual pleasure point, which is just wild,
And I think I don't think any of us are trying to demonize that. It's sort of like pointing out that that's the like the thing that rules that. So it's like, it's not like, oh, that's bad. It's like, oh, but maybe there are so many other ways, so many other paths and avenues to get these things,
Mm-hmm.
Totally. And it's
You know,
it's funny,
I
like I immediately think of the cliche of like you have to get out of your head, like if you're really gonna like touch someone or like enjoy a sexual.
Are you my penis?
I guess I was on a meta level, yes, but it's like you have to get out of your head and into your body. You know what I'm saying? It's like we
Yeah.
all know that feeling of still interpreting our own sensory experience. Like we have that ability to pull out to such an eagle-eye view.
Are you my penis again?
I mean, in some sense, yes, but in a more meta, broad sense, it's like you can pull out and you can have a deep director's perspective of your own sensory experience, and it's really bad in like the sexual context. Like you want to get into your own feelings, you want to enjoy it, right? But it's like it's crazy how much space you can actually wrap around that. That shit blows my mind. You know what I mean? I think that's another place to like cast the words out of the bedroom. Like we don't need to be talking with words. You know what I'm saying?
I have a problem.
We don't need to be thinking
words
with words in the
these days.
bedroom. Yeah,
We have a lot of word language barriers we're creating.
Okay,
And
Monica and Ashley, can we like regroup? Let's regroup. I feel like we disappeared into your pet.
Good job, Mallory. You definitely.
I have a lot
Mallory,
of
I got a shout.
practice.
I can tell.
What's tight is I only encountered poolside
Good luck,
Mallory.
though, listen.
I only encountered poolside Mallory, and I haven't encountered this whole other side of you. So this is just like amazing.
Is it
I
okay?
just saw her relaxation.
How is this
Relaxation is
version
what I
of me,
truly
Ashley?
noticed.
Is this version of me okay, Ashley?
It's delightful. It's like
Okay,
you ever know that feeling when you buy Pringles and it's
I
in
really
like,
wish I was watching your guys' faces right now, though.
you know how when you pop the Pringles lid and it's a whole different flavor you didn't realize you bought. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, that can be
No,
dangerous.
I
But
do.
yes, I
No,
do know
but
that
also
feeling.
if you're talking about your experience
Delightful.
of me, that is, I will take that, because yeah, you
Yes,
met me in
delightful.
person. We
Can
had
you
a
reel
very
it in,
limited
Mallory?
thing.
Can you reel us back in?
Please
I'm
reel us
reeling
in.
us
Please reel us
back,
in.
and we're after midnight. This has been such a beautiful
Oh
call.
yeah.
We would love to hear from both of you again, either together or
Of course.
individually. Maybe we have you all on camera.
Please.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, Ashley, I have a shirt from your art show. Maybe I'll wear it next time that you left
Oh, please
behind
do. Yes.
by the pool house.
Yeah.
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 So, I think we're gonna wrap
No,
this
no,
call up now. But
yes,
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 Craig?
Yes. In a
yeah,
minute.
yeah. We're running over, so we will have to let you guys go.
Okay.
But I want to
Well, I
say
just want to
what.
say I love
Yeah,
you.
I love you too. I love both of you guys.
I do too. I
It-
love both of you
I love
too.
you too, Mallory. See, look
Thank
at that.
you.
I love you no matter
Yeah.
what.
You haven't even seen your
Yeah.
tits yet.
That's so
Oh,
nice.
there it was. I love you no matter what. And what a beautiful
Yeah, you
note
got it.
to end this entire thing on. That there's an unconditionality that we were speaking about right there. There's a believing in each other no matter what. We don't need this love. We don't need this language. We don't need this relationship. Just be love. And here we are.
And here we are.
And here we are, loving. And
Thank you, Monica
that's
and
the end of our
Ashley.
show. So
Bye.
here we go. Roll the credits, Chris.
Yeah.
It's the end of our show.
Thank you to Chris and Brody and all of our callers. Hey, Craig, thank you.
Hey, Mallory. Thank you. And thank you, our
You wanna be a bird?